Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining me in this special Twitter bot making tutorial. Streaming live to you today from Vancouver, British Columbia, is myself, Maria. And today, folks, you're in for a real treat. So, we will begin this tutorial. Oh, I'm having some notices that Rumble is not streaming for some reason. Well, okay, let's just give up on Rumble. We're not streaming on Rumble. Sorry, guys, technical issues. So, we will basically begin this tutorial with a quick step-by-step introduction to bots, Selenium, and all the commands we will need. We'll also take a look at the developer tools and we will learn how to work with them. Now, we will end this stream today with a very important discussion about bots on social media in general. Is it right? Is it wrong? I want to see your take on this. Now, I also know that some of you guys were a bit concerned that I might get in trouble for this tutorial. And you're right, it's something that I'm a bit concerned with as well. After all, I'm streaming this across multiple platforms. I'm showing everybody the exact username and password of my bot, as well as all the actions and the code I'm using to run it, right? So everybody knows all about it. But the way I see it is if everyone's afraid to talk about it, everyone's afraid to show how ridiculously easy it is to set up bots on social media, we will never solve this problem because it is a problem. Bots on social media is not a good thing. They open the door to frauds, to fraudsters, imposters, and phishing attacks and things of that sort. And the worst part is those attacks, they're not meant, they're not targeting the CEOs or the fancy management team of those platforms. No, they're only meant to target you, the users. So yeah, this video is not meant for any fancy CEOs, even though I'd be very happy if Elon Musk and Jack Dorsey will have a chance to have a look at it. I'm pretty sure they already know how easy it is to create bots for their platforms. This video is actually meant for regular people who do not have much experience with programming or with Python, right? I want everyone to see just how easy it is. And then hopefully, maybe we will create a valuable discussion and a bit of pressure on those platforms to do something about it, okay? So I'm going to quickly say hi to everyone. Thank you guys so much for joining our chat. Thanks you to Josh for joining us today. Hi, Udbav. Hello, Katrina. Hello, Sally. Hello, Rene, Constant, Levan. Awesome. I see so many different messages here. I'm very, very happy to see you guys here. Oh, Tobbs, thank you so much for the super chat, for the coffee. Thanks. Awesome. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I see all kinds of comments here before. Perfect. So we will tackle all the comments in the very, very end. We will have 3 different question sessions. So prepare your questions in advance. I'm going to ask you specifically. Udvav is wishing me a happy birthday. My birthday is tomorrow, but yeah, thank you so much. Cool. So let's begin. I'm assuming that you already have Python installed on your computer before we start this tutorial. I've installed it with Anaconda. If you guys not sure how to do this, I was supposed to have this Anaconda tutorial pulled out here, but I didn't. I pulled out the wrong one, sorry. Let me do it now. You can actually find the link in the description as we speak. And please do this after the stream. I think it's important to see it live, to see all the questions and discussions we will have. So this is the Python installation tutorial, Anaconda installation tutorial. That's the terminal I'll be using for the duration of this video. Cool. So let's begin. So the first thing we'll do is we will open a new tab. And we will need to set up something called a webdriver in order to run our bot. So a webdriver is basically a browser window that pops out, and from this browser window, we control our bots, okay? Now, thank you guys so much for the comments. I'm going to address them a bit later, okay? This is going to be a step-by-step tutorial. We're going to do it similarly to the rest of my tutorials. It's just that this one is being transmitted live, okay? So depending on your browser software, in my case, I'm using Chrome, we will type webdriver Chrome. Okay, and we will click on this. Let me actually enlarge this text so you'll see it better. We will click on this Chromium link where we see all kinds of different releases of the Chrome driver. Now, if you guys are using Firefox, what you're looking for is the Gecko driver. Okay, you can find it inside the GitHub Mozilla page. GitHub Mozilla repository, and there you go. Here's all kinds of versions for different operating systems, okay? So back in Chrome, if you're not sure what the version of your browser is, let's do something like that. Let's download the latest version, and if we need a different version, we can then downgrade, we can then fix it. So we will click on this Windows 32, because in my case, that's the system I'm using. Actually, Windows 64, but never mind. And we will leave this tab open as well, because we might need a different version, okay? So we have downloaded the zip file, and we will need to paste it in some kind of a folder on our computer. Now, I already prepared a folder. That's going to be my root directory, and we'll just drag and drop. We'll just drag and drop this Chrome driver into this root directory, okay? Cool. Next, let's go ahead and copy the path of this folder, and we can now access it with our terminal. Now, in my case, I am using Anaconda. I'm an Anaconda kind of girl, but you can use any other terminal. It's entirely up to you, okay? So Anaconda prompt, Anaconda 3. So first things first, we will navigate to the project folder with cd, change directory, and we will paste the path we have just copied. Beautiful. And from here, we will then access a working environment I already set up on my computer in advance. Okay, and this is exactly what I show you inside the Anaconda tutorial we talked about earlier. Okay, so I'm going to activate my environment with conda activate env39, as in an environment where Python 3.9 is saved. That's why I called it that way. And in here, we will then move on with installing something called Selenium. Now, Selenium is a collection of tools that really help us with web scraping and automation. And we can simply install it with Anaconda by typing conda install -c conda forge Selenium. Enter. Now, in my case, I already have it installed. It may update this version. I'm not sure. We're about to find out. And yeah, I do have some updates to do. Perfect. Now, next, we will also install something called Jupyter Notebook, which is a coding interface that is very, very convenient for web scraping. You'll see exactly why. And yeah, so let's install it first. So conda install -c Anaconda Jupyter. Now, if you're using pip install instead, you can install Selenium with pip install Selenium and Jupyter with pip install Jupyter. Easy peasy. Okay, cool. And now once we have Jupyter Notebook installed, we can go ahead and access it by typing Jupyter Notebook. Boom. Beautiful. So we see that Jupyter opens up in a brand new page. And since we have already accessed our root folder for our project, we are already inside. Now, we will simply press on new. Sorry, guys. Every time I see something on a screen, I get distracted a bit. So my apologies if it happens again. So we will create a brand new Python 3 notebook. We'll click on it, and we will call it TwitterBot. I'm notorious for forgetting to name my notebooks, and then I have a bunch of untitled files that I need to I need to check time and again. Okay, so the way to check if we got the correct driver, web driver, is first to import Selenium. So actually from Selenium, we will import WebDriver. And then right below, we will test if we got the correct version of the driver by typing driver equals webdriver.chrome. If you're using Firefox, you would type Firefox in there. And because we put our WebDriver in the same folder as our notebook, we don't need to specify a special URL. It will fetch it automatically, okay? In previous tutorials, we did specify URL. So those of us who were following, that's the way to avoid this URL extra step. Cool. Now, if we run this code and everything works perfectly and we got the correct version of the driver, we will see a new Chrome window popping up in our system, and we can then automate it. So let's go ahead and run this code. We can either do this with Shift-Enter, or we can press on this Run button. Okay, let's see. Aha! So let's see what happened here. Okay, so session not created because this version of Chrome driver only supports Chrome version 102, while my version is actually 101. Awesome. So this is how you know which version you need to install. let's go back to this Chrome driver window we have here earlier, and let's download the correct version. Okay, trial and error. This is how I usually roll. Okay, and now let's delete this unnecessary driver, and let's paste the new file we have just copied. Okay, let's extract the driver from here. Whew. Okay, let's drag and drop it in the correct folder. Beautiful. Okay, now if we're back to our Jupyter notebook, and if we run this cell once again with Shift Enter, look at that. We have a new, oh, you actually didn't see it because I have, I know you didn't see it. I have this banner here, which I need to hide. But then you still don't see the bottom of my screen. Well, that's fine. Never mind. Actually, a window is popping out. You've seen it on your end. You're probably following along with me, hopefully. Okay, and there you go. So let's continue. So the first thing we'll do is we will need to navigate to the Twitter login page, which is different from just twitter.com. So let's start with twitter.com. Oh, actually, I'm logged in. Sorry, guys. Let's start it from this WebDriver window. There you go. Okay, and here if we type twitter.com, because I have a personal account and I have a bot account. Okay, we didn't discuss it yet, but I'm expecting you to use not your personal account, but an account you prepared in advance that is not associated to yourself or to your company or to anything, because the risk with building bots is that there's a big chance they might get deleted. Now, the way I'm showing you how to build bots, in many cases, you will not be even detected, or nobody will know you're running them. Like I ran my bots from my personal profiles at the very beginning. I didn't know I need to use dummy accounts, and everything is still fine. You know, people are using those bots. Nobody told me anything, okay? Because we'll see exactly why. We will discuss it along the way. So we will then press on this sign in button, which, you know what? It looks like you do not see half of the screen. Okay, let me quickly fix it. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Can't believe that I didn't figure it out earlier. Thank you for bearing with me here. Yeah, because you need to see the entire page, not just some of it. Okay, beautiful, much better. Perfect. Awesome. So we will click on this sign in button. And beautiful, this is the sign in page we're interested in. We'll just copy this, this URL from above. We will then close this window, and we will then access this URL from our code. Okay, so the way to do so is to simply type driver.get, and inside a set of round brackets, we will paste our copied URL in a string. Boom. Now, if we run this cell, actually, let me enlarge the window even a bit more so you can see my Chrome window popping out. There you go. You can see it now. Now it's perfect. Okay, let's run it. And beautiful. I have this brand new Chrome window popping out, and it's opening in Twitter's login page. Okay, I'm just going to keep it so all of us can see it at the same time as our code. And keep in mind that I am not closing this window for the duration of creating the scraper. This window is staying here with us. Okay, that's why it's so important to use Jupyter Notebook when scraping, in my opinion. Again, you'll see the benefit very, very soon. So once we are inside the Twitter login page, what we need to do is we will need to type our username into this input field. Now, when we look around, we don't really see any other input fields on the page. So I wonder if we can get away with selecting this one just by selecting an arbitrary input. Okay, so let's try this in the next cell below. Okay, so we will type driver.find element by XPath, which is one way to select elements on an HTML document that combines JavaScript with it. And inside those round brackets, we will then open a quote, and following a set of slashes, double slashes, we will type input, where input represents the name of the HTML tag we are targeting on the page, okay, on the source page. Cool. So once we can then call this expression, let's call it username, a bit logical. Okay, and after we have selected this username, we will then type username dot send underscore keys, and we will send the username of our bot. Again, not your personal account, not Maria Shah 888, but Lily Potter 38. Yeah, uh, that's my bot. Cool. Now let's test if it worked. Okay, there's a chance that we will not be able to select this input, right? We're guessing at this point of time. So let's go ahead and run this cell with Shift Enter. Beautiful. Okay, so that was enough. Just selecting an arbitrary input field. Go figure. Awesome, you guys. Now, next, we will need to click on the next button. Okay. Now, the way to do it so might be a bit more complicated. So in order to do this, we will access, actually, let me enlarge it a bit, and we will access the developer tools. Now, the way to do so is to right-click anywhere on the page and to click on Inspect. This opens the developer tools console. Then we will click on this arrow button over here, and we will click on the element of our choice. For example, the next button. Cool. And we see that this button, hold on, let me target it again. Okay, this button is a div element with the role of button. Now, we don't see any other special characteristics about it. I mean, there's really no convenient way of selecting this individual button, right? The only thing we can really target is the role equals button attribute. Everything else is just gibberish, you know, and it may repeat across other buttons, right? The same styling goes for this button and for this button. So whenever you don't have a unique identifier to your element, the way to select it is by using the index. Okay, so we will select all the buttons on the page and we will click on the second last button, which I'm assuming would be our next button, right? Because below it, there's the forget password one. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so the way to do so, let me minimize this. Okay, the way to do so is to copy our previous input selection command. We will paste it in the next cell. And instead of targeting an input field, we will target a div element. Okay, we will open a set of square brackets because we are targeting a specific attribute, a div with specific attributes. Okay, so the attribute we will target, we will indicate it with an @ symbol. And what we're looking for is the button with the role of, the div with the role of button. Okay, and to verify this is the correct one, just to make sure I'm not forgetting this, let's select the next button again. Ooh. Okay, yeah, div with the role of button. And that's exactly what we selected here. Cool, perfect. It all matches. Awesome. So once we have selected all the buttons on the page, actually, let's change it from username to all underscore buttons. Okay, we will then focus on the second last button, which is the one we suspect to be the next button. And we will simply do this by focusing on index -2. Okay, so -1 button is the forgot password and -2 is next. And we're just assuming at this point of time, who knows? We might get it right. And after we select this button, we will add the .click method right after, and this will click on it. Hopefully. Okay, now let's run this cell and let's see if it works. Okay, I messed up something. So, find element. What I meant is find elements, as in many elements and not just one. That was my mistake. Let's rerun it. Because, okay, it left the Lily Potter. So let's run the cell with the Lily Potter. And now let's run the cell with the next. Beautiful. We pressed on the next button. It worked. Yes, indeed. It was the -2 index button. Okay, and we will continue with questions a bit later. We're going to have 3 question rounds. Okay, so the first question round will be after we log in. I'm going to check if you guys are struggling with anything. And please prepare your questions in advance. When I ask you, this is when you need to provide them to me, because otherwise I won't be able to follow them. Okay, so let's make everything a bit more extra organized. Cool. So we are inside the password field, and here it's a bit different from the username field because we can clearly see that there is a username input, but we cannot really interact with it, right? But it doesn't mean that this input is not there. So this time, I don't think that targeting just an input field will work. We will need to actually take a look inside those elements, and let's enlarge it so we can see what we're doing. Okay, so let's click. Oh, okay. So every time I enlarge it, something gets messed up. Sorry, guys. Okay, let's let's get to the point of entering password. Beautiful. We're in the correct page. Ah, come on. Okay, so let's just keep it open entirely. Okay, let's run those previous cells. Technical issues, guys, technical issues. Okay, password. Now it should be fine. Okay, we're here. Let's have a look at this password input field. So we see that this is a div with a very ambiguous class. Let's open it. Let's see what's inside. Okay, there's another div inside, which also is not exactly what we're looking for, because we are looking for an input field. Let's expand it, and we end with a span element. Okay, so basically what we are selecting is this text of password. That's not what we're looking for. What we're actually looking for is one of the elements beside it. Okay, so let's keep looking. Let's look at the div below, and we also see it kind of selects the correct field. It has another div inside it. Let's open it, and here is our input. Okay, we found it. It's like a matryoshka, you know, like recursion. Elements inside other elements inside other elements. And I lost them once again. Why? Why? Okay, guys, let's roll it once again. My apologies. Something is getting weird here. Okay, so we were selecting the correct input field. Every time I expand it, I lose it. Holy smokes, you guys. I need to remember not to do it. Technical issues, technical issues. Okay, we're here. Now we are selecting the password div. We need the div below it, which has another div inside it, which has an input field. Okay, that's the one. And the input, that's it. We are selecting it. So let's have a quick look. Exactly, Irfan. Do not change the size. I need to remember. Okay, let's do it. So we are looking at an input field with, first of all, it has the name of password, which is something that we can target. And it also has the type of password. So we can target both of these attributes, any of them, you know? So let's just close it before it leaves the page once again. Okay, and let's just copy our line of code from above, our username command, and we'll slightly adjust it. So first of all, username changes to password. And this time we'll need to be a bit more specific with our input. Okay, so what we'll do is we will select the input field with the type of password. Okay, and this should do the trick. Now, the password is not Lily Potter. My password is very Soviet Union password. It's very related to my childhood. Okay, you will see why. Okay, if we have any Russian-speaking fellas in the audience, I'm sure you guys will appreciate it. So my password is Cheburashka, okay, and Gena. Now, if you guys are curious, what is Cheburashka and Gena, okay? These are our childhood heroes, okay? Let me show you. So this is Crocodile Gena, and this is Cheburashka. Okay, I thought it's funny to have them as passwords. They're cartoons, okay? Very fun cartoons that I guess a lot of people grew up on. Okay, cool. So I'm going to send my password, and let's see if it works. Now, I'm not going to touch this window. I'm scared. So I'm just going to move. I'm going to move this, and I'm going to rerun this code. Okay, I'm pressing Shift-Enter, and boom, our password was indeed entered. Great. Okay. Now, the next thing we'll need to do, Opa, Oda, Cheburashka. Masha, большое спасибо за content. Пожалуйста, пожалуйста. Thank you guys so much for your comments. Cool. So, back in our code, we can see that there's a single button on the page. However, we don't know if this is a button either, right? Because it might be a button. Maybe this one is a button. Maybe, showing the password is one of them. So what we'll do is we will simply use the same logic that we used before. We will target all the buttons on the page, but this time we will select the last button, not the second last, okay? So let's go ahead and copy this line of code that includes all buttons. And you see, I think by now you realize that using a notebook interface for scraping is a bit more comfortable. Because if we were to use a single cell and run it all the time, or if we were to use something like Sublime or Atom, we would have to log in time and again. We would have to type our password, and things will take us longer. And here we can actually customize which commands we are running. Okay, so one cell we can run first, then we can run last, and that's it. We'll just continue. Yeah, I get distracted with the comments. Cool. So instead of clicking on the second last button, we will click on the last button. So -1. And now if we rerun this code, okay, let's, I want you guys to see a bit, and let's press on Shift Enter. Boom. Okay. Yeah. So I've set up some, I've set up some privacy settings on my account earlier so people cannot break into it. Okay, so I have this extra step of that I'm gonna have to remove right now. Okay, so bear with me, guys. I was very scared that people will try to break into my account, and I created this second two-factor authentication thing, and I didn't think it's gonna it's gonna kick in on everything. I thought it's gonna kick in only on some of the things. So let me log in quickly. My apologies, technical issues once again. Let me go into my, I don't think you guys can see it. No, great. Perfect. I'm going to get into my privacy settings, and I'm going to remove, I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm going to remove this second factor authentication. Whew, it's happening. And, okay. Okay, perfect. Now it should be fine. Now let's run all this code from the get-go. Okay, let's run everything, and let's make sure that nothing unexpected is happening. Sorry, this is the wrong Chrome window. Okay, so let's click on cell and run all. Actually, we need to run them time after time because I'll tell you why shortly. We need to allow enough time for the elements to load on the page. Okay, we'll take care of it a bit later. So I'm just going to run those cells one after the other. And we will later on, we will organize it into a much, much nicer code snippet. Okay, so type password. We're typing our password, and then we are logging in. Let's check. Again? What? I just disabled it. You guys. This is interesting. Okay. I don't know why I have it again. I just disabled it. So let's do it again. Whew. Sorry. Can't believe this is happening. What a stupid idea I had. Usually when people are using bots, they don't share their bots with the world. Okay. Let's see. Again, security. And I don't have this authentication anymore. So why are you asking me for this? Twitter? Oh, you're ruining my plans. Okay. Maybe I'm going to start this notebook from scratch. Let's see. Or should I use my actual username? No. We're not going to do this. Yeah, so it is Authenticator because I did set it up before the stream. It wasn't a problem before this stream. I decided to be extra. I wanted to be extra sophisticated about it. Yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a ready notebook. Okay, I'm going to run the notebook how it should be after it's complete. Okay, so let's exit this one. Okay, let's create a new, let's start everything from scratch. Okay, so Anaconda. I'm gonna activate my my working environment, activate env39, Conda, activate env39, Jupyter notebook. Okay, and now let's have a quick look. What did I mess up here? Thank you guys. You tell me I'm the best, but I'm messing up. I feel bad. It shouldn't be messed up. My apologies. It's this extra step. Come on. Okay, and now you can see just how messy I am. Okay, so I believe it's in thumbnail art. I have a Twitter bot here. Okay, so let's just run this bot, run this cell. I need to have an additional cell activate bot. Okay, hopefully this will fix it. Hopefully now it's not going to ask me for my password and username for my authentication. What is this? Oh, it opened a different one. Whew. Sorry, guys. That's here. Okay, what's going on, you guys? Okay, so I need to activate this bot. Activate bot. Oh, it's waiting 10 seconds. Okay, that's why. I've added a 10-second wait just so you guys can see the entire automation. So this will reveal how the code works for sure, but I just want to make sure that it runs properly. It's not supposed to give me any problems. Okay, so let's do this extra authentication step. Okay. Okay, what just happened? What just happened? So we have bypassed it. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, let's try to go back to our notebook. Let's leave it. Let's just solve the problems with the authentication stuff. Sorry, guys. Sorry. So we have our window open. Okay, there you go. It's right over here. Have it right over here. I'm going to make this a bit smaller. Okay. We will then log in. We'll then enter our password. And when we are prompted for the email address, we will do the exact same thing we've been doing so far. We will just find this element, find this input. It sure looks like it's the only input on the page. So let's try to target it with this particular command. Okay, so we will type email. We will call it email in both cases. Okay, and in my case, my email is watermelondesignbc@gmail.com. Okay, let's see. This solves it. Yep, it's all good. And let's go ahead and click on the very last button on the page once again. So this is just adding us an extra step. My apologies, you guys. Incorrect, please try again. Okay, so the next button. So this could be the only button on the page, eh? Let's take a look at the... Oh, Twitter! You guys, these things you don't notice when you're working with a full screen. When you're trying to work across a smaller screen, a tinier screen, suddenly all these technical things pops out, okay? So we are talking in the comments about VPN and things of that sort. Now, if we are using a WebDriver window, we're not interacting directly with the website. We are interacting with a browser window, which interacts with the website itself. So we have this middleman in between. So it's very, very hard to detect us. That's the first blocker we are bypassing, just to let you guys know. Okay, so let's run it again. I can't believe I have to do this. So Lily Potter, password. Okay, this and that and this. Okay, and why won't you click on this button? Maybe because it's the only button on the page. You can just click on it very simply. Let's try this. Okay, you guys. Okay, I might have to film a tutorial on it because this is being very, 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 very bizarre on me. Okay, so we'll do the following. I'm gonna run the actual bot. I'm gonna run it. I'm gonna show you how it works. I can't believe this is happening. I did not plan it to happen. My apologies. We will talk about the theory in the rest of this stream. Okay, so I had my Jupyter notebook here. Let's go into my previous Jupyter notebook. My the one that I've prepared in advance. So Twitter bot, thumbnail art, Twitter bot. What? Okay, it's a bit better. Is that the complete version of my bot? That's right, it is. Okay, so we'll just do... I want to show you guys the full automation. The full automation. And this is the code we were supposed to see for this tutorial. You guys. How about... I'm trying to figure out how to solve it. I'm thinking maybe I should restart my computer and do this from the get-go. I don't know. What do you guys think? What should we do this together, or should I just load this code to GitHub and everybody can just use it? I don't know. I really wanted to do this step by step with you guys. But yeah, as you can see, it doesn't work very smoothly. So let's try to add... What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to add username. Okay, and after we click on this, we will then need to log in somehow. So we will then select the email address. Another input field. We will pass my email. Okay. Watermelon design bc@gmail.com. Okay, and then we will click on the last button on the page. Hopefully, it didn't work the last time, but maybe let's add a wait. So time sleep. We'll wait for 2 seconds, and then we will try to click on the last button on the page, which might as well be the first. Okay. Let's see if it works, guys. I don't know if it will, but I really hope it will. Okay. Do I have a window popping up? Okay. I'll run this piece of code, and I'm going to run this this bot on the keyword of rainbow. Okay. So yeah, for 10 seconds, it just gives me enough time to drag it into the center of the screen so you guys can see it too. And my hands are here. I'm not touching anything. I'm not typing anything. It's going to type everything on its own. Authentication again. Are you entering the email or are you stuck? He is stuck. Okay. So annoying. So annoying, you guys. Okay. And the problem is no such element on the page. Because we needed to add the wait before. Okay. So let's wait here before we enter the email. Okay. And let's actually have a quick look at this next button. So let's say we have an email. Let's see how the next button looks like. Okay. It's a div with a row of button. Okay. Is it the only button on the page? No, I have a feeling that this one as well. Okay, so let's keep it the -1 button. Okay, let's give it a run. Sorry, guys, I just need to run this cell. Okay. Yeah, you can use the explicit weights as well. It's also a good way of doing things. In this tutorial, I was supposed to use random weights. Oh, it is in. Okay, my hands are here. not touching anything. It's supposed to search for a keyword of rainbow, and it's supposed to like a bunch of, okay, it's liking. Okay, so our bot is operational. It is working, and it's going to scroll 2 times, and it's going to like a bunch of posts, and once it's done liking them, it's going to just turn itself off. So everything is done with automation. It all works. I just had an extra step of this stupid authentication that was added. Yeah, I tried these CSS selectors, by the way, guys. It worked better with XPath, particularly in the case of Twitter. Okay, and that's it. Our bot was finished. And we fetched 6 and 9 posts in each and every one of the scrolls. And then we liked 15 tweets altogether. So yeah, the source code, we are working on this right now. Okay, so this is our example. We know how to do this. So let's go back to the notebook we started to do, and we'll just copy what we figured out for those buttons and those emails. Okay, I really want to continue this tutorial because I want to show you all the blockers that exist on the platforms. Okay, so let's go ahead and copy this extra authentication step, including those time sleep commands. Okay, and we will go back to the previous notebook we have started. Okay, we're back to the Twitter bot notebook, the original one. And we are, let me hide this comment. Okay, so we have entered this. Actually, let's combine them both in the same cell. Let's fix the indentation. Ooh, ooh. Okay, Shift Tab. Cool, and we will delete this cell altogether. From the get-go. 100th time I'm doing this. So this is the first cell. This is the second cell. This is the third cell. This is the fourth cell. Password. Then we enter the password. And we enter our authentication. Okay, name time is not defined. Because I did not import the time module. Okay, so what we do with time sleep is we just ask our browser to wait a tiny bit, okay? And inside we specify the amount of seconds. For now, we're using 2 seconds, but soon I will show you how to make it random wait. I think it's a bit more resembling humans that way, okay? Take a look. Okay, beautiful. We have logged in. We have successfully logged in. Amazing. Now, if you don't have your 2-step verification, authentication, you didn't need those 2 last commands, okay? You don't really need this cell. So just ignore it on your end. So once we were able to log in, there are 2 approaches for searching a specific keyword. First approach is to click on the search button. It must be here somewhere. There's a searching. Here it is, search Twitter, and we can search for Python. And then we will find all the posts that relate to Python, all the tweets. Now, another approach, which is much faster, and it's my favorite approach, is to copy this URL from above because we have Python inside it. And that's the keyword we are searching. And then we just concatenate all kinds of different keywords into it. Okay, so let's copy this. Let's copy this URL. And let's go back to our notebook. And now, once we have logged in, okay, what did it happen? Invalid argument file is not found. We'll take care of it after. Okay, maybe it's no longer working with the authentication. Maybe you just needed 5 seconds to load. I don't know. So let's access the new URL. Okay, so we will type driver.get, and we will paste the URL we just copied in a string. And then, to make it a bit more clever, we will create a new variable called keyword, and we will assign it to Python. Okay. Now, instead of having Python hard-coded inside the URL, we will simply concatenate keyword variable. That's it. Now we can search for anything else. We can switch Python to chess or whatever floats your boat, and this will open a brand new page. Cool. Now let's see if it works. Actually, so let's change it from Python to rainbow again. And let's see if it worked. Just gonna slightly minimize this one. I'm gonna leave my Twitter here. Okay, and let's run this cell. Beautiful. We are searching for rainbow. So we have all kinds of posts in here, and we already liked a bunch of posts, as you can see. So let's go for a keyword that I didn't like yet. So bunny. I don't know why I choose all these cute names. So yeah, what we need to do now is we will need to somehow figure out what is this element, right? Because it looks like a bit like a button. It looks a bit like an icon. So let's take a look inside. Because our bot is going to be very, very friendly. It's just going to be a liking, sweet liking bot. Nothing too special. Okay, so let's click on this. And let's see. So this shows us a path. Okay, this cannot be what we are targeting. It shows us an SVG. Well, it's nice. SVG is an image file, but we cannot really interact with it. Now, we also see a div with a very ambiguous class, and above it, we see another div with another ambiguous class. Another div with ambiguous class. Okay, so in order to do so, let's take a look at where all those icons are stored. Let's take a look at the parent element of all those icons. Okay, this is a div with an ARIA label. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. There's something to target finally. So let's look. The first element represents the comments. The second element represents the retweets. And the third element represents the likes. Beautiful. Nice. Okay, let's expand it. And once we expand it, we see another div element. Once we expand this one, we finally get to a div element with an ARIA label of 7,948 likes. And it ends with the word like. Okay, so every different post has a different number of likes, and we cannot really target it so specifically, but what we can target is attributes where the name contains a certain keyword. Okay, so the keyword like is contained inside the ARIA label attribute value. Okay, it's contained inside, and that's what we will try to target. Let me see if I can explain it better inside the notebook. Okay, so in our case, we will target driver.find elements as in many elements, because we're looking for multiple likes. We would like to like multiple tweets instead of just one. Okay, find elements once again by XPath. And inside this XPath, we will target the div elements that contains an ARIA label like with a capital L. And let's make sure I got it right. Okay, so let's have a look. Div with the ARIA label of like. Perfect. That looks right to me. Okay, and let's call all these elements. You probably can't see everything, so let me just drop my head away. Woo. Okay, and once we selected, let's name it likes. Okay, and right below, we can then click on the very first like. So let's click on the like at index 0. We'll just add a .click method to it. Okay, now let's check if it worked. Let's check if it works. So this should like this cute cat, even though I searched for bunny. This is weird. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this code, this cell. Like is not defined. Okay, well, yeah, because I need to select the right element. That might do the trick. So let's do it again. Beautiful. We were able to like this very first image. Okay, and we have automated this process. Now, that's not all, because let's check what happens if we try to like all the like elements. Okay, let's unlike it briefly, just for the sake of the demonstration. And let's do the following. Let's convert this expression into a for loop. So for I in range the length of likes, actually -1, because we start counting from 0 and not from 1, we will click on all the like buttons. Okay, I already tell you this is not going to work. Okay, I'm already warning you in advance. Okay, in advance. Okay, so let's open this, and let's open our Jupyter notebook above it. Cool. So let's run this cell. And oh, it actually likes everything. That's so weird. Usually you would get blocked. Usually there will be some kind of a blocker preventing you from doing so, right? This is weird, unexpected. So how many likes did it fetch? I guess it just fetched a single like. So maybe let's search. No, it fetched a bunch of them. Wow, it works, you guys. So usually, usually if you ran into a blocker, did anybody get a, so the time slipping will take care of it after. So right now we're kind of trying to finish the process of everything. Yeah, I am not used to live stuff. No, definitely not. Okay. Now, did anybody encounter an error? I want to see if any of you guys, if you got blocked from doing so with any type of keyword, because I did get blocked before. Let's wait a minute or two. Let's see. Okay, I don't see anything. And timer looking to the image. Yeah, so the timing, everything that has to do with time, we'll take care of it after. I'm just trying to make sure we're selecting the right element for this. Okay, cool. So it doesn't look like anybody was interrupted, but in case that we are being interrupted, the way to fix it is basically to click with JavaScript instead of with Python. So if you encountered any error, people who are watching the stream after it ended, we will basically fix it by typing driver.execute script. And inside those round brackets, we pass some JavaScript code. Now, the best way to do so, in my opinion, is to simply specify arguments in the index of 0, okay, .click, and a semicolon, and then we will just pass whichever. So argument is basically a placeholder, and then we will just simply pass likes in the index of I into it, and then we are just clicking on those elements with JavaScript. So if you're running into any type of blockers that prevent you from clicking on multiple posts, use JavaScript instead. My head was probably blocking this command as I was typing it. There you go. Ooh, now my microphone is blocking it. There you go. Driver execute script. This should do the trick. Cool. Now, how do we scroll? Now, I already accepted the fact that this is not going to be a very successful stream. I messed up too many times. didn't really work as expected, as planned. Okay, so this is how we basically like images. And if we'd like to scroll multiple times, we can do the following. Let's create a variable called and scrolls. And let's say we'd like to scroll 2 times. Okay, and then we will type for scroll in for scroll in range and scrolls, we will do the following. We will perform another JavaScript command, so driver.execute script. Okay, and this time we will type window.scroll to in camel case. Once again, my microphone is blocking this. Ooh, okay, we're fixing this. Scroll to, and the first argument would be the location from where we start streaming. Sorry, I'm reading your comments. It distracts me. Okay, so window scroll to, and we start with the location from where we'd like to scroll. So in our case, that's 0. Okay, and then we end with the location until where we'd like to scroll. In our case, that would be document.body.scroll height, which represents the end of the document. And we will, of course, add a semicolon because this is JavaScript. And that's it. And these are the amount of times that our bot will scroll. Now, let's go ahead and fix the indentation of the rest of our commands. Okay, so once we scroll, we will then need to wait a bit. So for now, let's add a time sleep command of 2 seconds. Okay, and then whenever we'd like to, then we will select all the likable elements, the available likable elements, and we will click on them with JavaScript. Okay, and after we click on each element, we would also like to time sleep. We will wait for 2 seconds, and we will then convert it into a much longer waiting time. Now, before we do so, let's quickly change this into a different keyword. Let's say house. Okay, just so it doesn't get interrupted with the rest of our code. And now we can test if it works, if our scrolling event works. Okay, let's do it. And I have a typo, of course. And scrolls is not defined. Okay, scroll-less. Typo number 1. Let's do it. And beautiful. We have clearly scrolled. So let's see what happens. Yeah, I didn't need it to pop like with White House stuff. Okay, it's liking a bunch of things, whether you like it or not. Our bot was able to scroll once, and here it is scrolling once again. So we did figure out this functionality as well. Cool. Yeah, Julian, I am definitely notorious for my typos. And the reason is I don't see half of my screen. It is what it is. Okay, so let's go back to our code. Let's see if it finished running. And yeah, it's just finished running. Beautiful. So it seems like we figured out this mechanism somewhat, okay? And we will need to now organize it into a nice function. Now, the reason why I cannot really do it is because I don't know if it's going to ask me for the authentication again. I'm not sure what's going on with this authentication. I did not expect it, okay? So let's give a run to the complete bot. And this code, I'll be loading it to my GitHub right after the stream is over. You can find it over there. Okay, so let's close this window. Let's see the complete bot. And you see that these are all the commands we've used. I actually closed the good version of the bot. These are, no. Yeah, so I've created here a function called random wait. Okay, just a bit disorganized. There you go. This is random wait. So what basically we've done here is we took a random integer from minimum and maximum value from 1 to 4 in the case of this particular line of code, and we selected, so one time it's going to be 1 second, one time it's going to be 2 seconds, and one time it's going to be 3 seconds. It's all determined randomly, and this kind of mimics the behavior of a human a bit better. Okay, so let's run this. Let's make sure it all works. Okay, let's run this cell. Again, I'm posting this code on GitHub very, very soon. Okay, and this, instead of targeting a rainbow, we will target a, I don't know, Python keyword. Do it. Let's run it. Okay, here's a window popping up. I'm waiting for 2 seconds, and I'm testing. I want to see if my authentication is gone or if it's still there. Let's check. Okay, hands here. I'm not touching it, not doing anything. Ooh, this is not me. Okay, we don't have authentication. Perfect. So I can just delete these lines of code. Wow, wonderful. Wonderful. So it's gone. Okay, I was able to remove it. Beautiful. So inside this code, I don't see much. Okay, so let's delete this watermelon design thing. Let's delete it from here. We don't need it. Beautiful. Okay. Now, when this code runs, this will demonstrate how the bot runs without any issues. Okay. Actually, did I save the previous? No, did not save the previous cell. Let's kernel restart. Okay, it's going to restart. Give it a sec. Okay, I'm going to run the cell of the bot function, and then I'm going to run the actual function. Okay, here's our browser window. 10 seconds is just something on my end. I've added it just so I can move the screen to the right direction. Hands-free. I don't do this. My bot is doing this. There you go. Yeah, first like. And it's going to take a bit of time because I've added a bunch of random weights in between. And here's something interesting. Look what happens when it detects a post that was already liked. So if I already liked a post and this bot wants to like it again, it's going to go into this tweet, okay? And it's going to like the tweet, and then it's going to like a bunch of comments underneath. So this is a bit unexpected, but keep in mind that we are running this bot on keywords that we have not liked yet. It's just that in order to build it, I've tested so many different keywords to build it and to plan this tutorial. Okay, so now let's quickly talk about everything, all the blockers we bypassed. And I know I said it's supposed to be easy and we got some technical issues, but it is easy, and I will film a tutorial on it that is like a step-by-step and is something much more explanatory than what you've seen here, something without as many issues. Okay, if we look at those lines of code, they're pretty easy to figure out. When you're combining it with the developer tools, it is also a very easy thing to do. Now, if you guys have any questions, I know we're supposed to have 3 different rounds of questions, okay? But due to technical issues, we didn't have them. So question round 3. If you have any questions regarding the code we have used or anything you've seen in this tutorial, please add 3 alien emojis in front of your question, in front of your comment, and I'll be able to respond. Yep. Okay. Let's see. That's right. So whenever we're building bots, we are definitely trying to mimic human behavior. So one way to do so is to use random weight, because we're not always going to have the same increment of time, the same interval of time between our actions, right? It will be completely different time and again, because humans are very random. Okay, bots, machines very often are using the exact same amount of seconds of wait. So if we were to use the time dot sleep 2 seconds wait time and again, that would have been one way of detecting us. I'm not sure if it's really the way they detect us, but if I work in a social media company and I'm supposed to prevent people from building bots, the first thing I'll be checking is the request that I'm getting. Is there a specific amount of time between one request to another? And if it's not changing from request to request, something is already fishy there. Okay, that's just one. And yeah, so Katrina had a question. Can you access fetch XAJAR requests from Selenium? Not sure. Trial and error. There are a lot of things that Selenium can solve that actually surprised me, so it might. Okay. Is there a way to know if we are getting the final document if a website renders its pages using JavaScript, like how YouTube works, for example? I'm not sure. In the end of the day, the question is what you're trying to do. So you mean the final document? Sometimes the code we are fetching with Selenium doesn't exactly match the code on the page. Is that what you mean? Because some elements are not interactable in some cases. Yeah, let me read this again to make sure. Yeah, so if you mean final document by scrolling to the very end of the page, it's something that is almost impossible in those social media platforms, because with Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, you scroll as you go. The bottom of the page was many years ago. You would have to fetch millions upon millions of posts, and it's not something that you can actually do. So no, you're not getting the entire page. You're just getting the current loading cycle. Yeah. Let's see. So I was able to see how you used Chrome driver and Jupyter Notebook, because for me, I used VN. Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can install Jupyter with pip with no problem, for sure. Just because I'm using Anaconda doesn't mean you have to use it too. It's VN is also very convenient. It's just that Anaconda is combining pip and VN, so it's a bit more convenient for me. Cool. What else? Okay. Well, you'll always get the final document because Selenium will wait for the page to be rendered. Okay, cool. Awesome. So Python simplified page load time is always different, random. Okay. Selenium should also have a method to wait until docs has been finished with loading. Yeah, elements in particular. I'm not sure if the entire document. I guess there is a method and the other way could execute script JavaScript. Yeah, for sure. In previous tutorials, we've used a driver wait command. So basically you wait until an element is interactable and only then you are trying to fetch it. That's also an option. Used it in previous tutorials. Okay. I think he meant how we can wait for JavaScript calls to complete on the page. What you can do is wait for an element to be present in the DOM with a timeout in Selenium. Okay, so let me just pull it out. Let me pull it out from my GitHub account. Okay, so we'll go to my profile. We will go to my Instagram scraper. Okay, and let's go into the commenting bot. I believe I've been using this command here. So a smart way to do this is to use webdriver wait. And this will be random timing again. Okay, so to select the username and the password, we set up a wait time where we have a timeout of 10 seconds. So if finding this element takes over 10 seconds, this command, will return an error. Now, we wait until the element is clickable, interactable, until you can actually do something about it. And then we select it by CSS selector, which is a bit different from XPath, as you can see. Yeah, it's a different way of writing this string. So this is another option in which we can assure that we have a random wait time. Now, what else we use to prevent some blockers? Now, I don't know why I didn't get blocked today. Something today didn't work as expected. I have a feeling it's the size of the browser window that was messing with me. Okay. Now, okay, I have other questions here. So, element wait until element. Yeah, try that too. Sure. There's all kinds of suggestions in the comments. There's this one as well. Cool. Check it out. Yeah, there's different ways of doing the same thing. Doesn't mean that one of them is better than the other. Cool. So another way for us to stay undetected is to use a browser window from which we do all the scraping. So if we were to use a headless browser, for example, if we were to use Selenium headlessly, which is something we can do, we would interact directly with the web page. We will make requests to the web servers directly from our code. Now, this is something that is very easy to prevent. In many cases, if you'll try to do the same thing without Selenium, you'll just be blocked. So the first time around, you'll be able to perform whatever you need to perform, and then the second time, third, fourth, fifth, and forever and ever, you will be blocked. Okay, so having this browser window as a middleman is something that makes it very, very difficult for other people to detect us. Okay, that's one of the things I like the most about Selenium. And yeah, you've seen that my Instagram bot has a bunch of clones on it. It's available for all to see, and yet nobody did anything about it. Nobody told me that there's a problem with this bot. Okay, now this didn't go according to plan. My apologies again for the stream. I was not expecting such difficulties, but we were supposed to have our own bots ready and running, proving a point, performing an experiment, because performing the experiment with my bot is a bit, I don't know, it will probably stick around for a very long time, but there's a chance that I'll be detected just because of this video that I'm filming, streaming across all these platforms. And your bots are very, very safe and sound because nobody knows your password, nobody knows your username, and nobody knows which hashtags you tagged on, you liked. So in the end of the day, you're much more undetected than myself. Okay, Udbav has a question. Can we make a single bot for Twitter and Facebook? And why is it important to resize the window? Can we make a bot to do it randomly? I don't think you can make it resize the window, at least not with Selenium. As far as, I don't know, something you need to see. I'm not familiar with this. And the reason why I'm resizing is because I wanted to show you guys everything. One window beside the other. And I wanted to show you how they work together. I didn't know that it's going to mess up my Twitter. Yeah, I didn't know it's going to mess up my my browser at all. It's weird. Yeah, I have a huge screen, by the way, and you see only a portion of it. So whenever I'm working, I don't think about these sort of stuff. So yeah, my apologies, you guys. So you can probably make a single piece of code to run both, as a Facebook scraper and a Twitter scraper. So right after we are done scraping Twitter, you can just continue with scraping Facebook, and it can be the exact same file. It could be the exact same piece of code. So what I call a bot is just an automated piece of code. It's not necessarily one function or one application. Different people have different definitions. As long as you automate something, I consider it a bot. And one piece of advice: if it's something that you can do with your mouse and keyboard on the page, you are most likely will be able to do this with a bot. If you are unable to do this, if you see all kinds of blockers, you can bypass them. It's just a matter of time and patience. There's all kinds of ways. So one of the ways is adding some sleep. One of the ways is changing maybe the attributes you are targeting on the element. If you have no specific identifiers, no unique identifiers on elements, you can always target by the index, right? So select all the elements of the same kind on the page and target the fifth or fourth or second element and so on, right? So there's all kinds of ways around it. Now, the most aggressive blockers I've seen are those that can only be solved with JavaScript, okay? And we already solved them. I showed you two ways of how we can use JavaScript. One of them is to scroll down the page, and another one is how to click on some elements. I use it all the time. Yeah, whatever works, works. Yeah, cool. The most examples are to wait for elements, but there is also a JavaScript function which is called if the document has finished loading. Okay, if Selenium could handle callbacks, this should be possible. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, Selenium works across several programming languages, not only Python. It's something that many people are using. Okay, Tobbs. She has only screen that can be seen from the moon with the naked eye. My screen is huge. It's like a spaceship shuttle. Okay, and PC configuration like processor for comments display. Oh, you mean like the specs of my computer, eh? So I'm using. Okay, I have a fancy one. I have an Alder Lake CPU. It's the 12th gen i9 CPU. I'm not sure the rest of the name. I'm using a 3080. 3090. Whew, what am I talking about? I had a giveaway of a 3080 Ti, but I have a 3090. In terms of graphics card, I have DDR5 RAM. I have a special motherboard that can run it. And yeah, these are pretty interesting specs. It's really good for video rendering. And another important thing, if you're thinking about streaming and things of that sort, you need an internet connection that is wired, right? Don't use a wireless internet connection. I have a really fast one. That's something else that really helps me. So yeah, video rendering, you need to have a really good graphics card, like a really good one. And then your videos render better. And you need to have a substantial amount of RAM. Like in my case, when I upgraded from 32 gigs of RAM to 64 gigs of RAM, it completely changed my rendering experience. Like completely, you guys. You can't even compare. A video that used to render for 30 minutes is now rendering for 5. It's huge. And if it was 128 gigs of RAM, that would have been even faster. So there's always opportunities to grow. Yeah. This one is a costume PC. I really, really like it. I also have an Alienware, and I have a really old laptop that is hanging by by foam glue, and it still works. It's one of my favorites. That's actually the laptop where all those tutorials are being planned on. Yeah. It's Alma Linux. So anyway, I did get correctly is that the account you used was already created, or the bot created? No, the bot did not create it. No, Oscar. We created this account in advance. So you know what? Actually, let's quickly talk about it. How to make a believable bot account. Okay, so let's just go in to this account. Go in step by step. Okay, and let's log in. Beautiful. And let me introduce you. Allow me to introduce you to Lily, my bot. Okay, so let's take a look at her account. Ooh, where is her account? Okay. I like cats. Look at that. So Lily, she likes cats, music, and programming, not related to Harry Potter. Okay. So why will this seem a bit more human than somebody who doesn't have a profile picture and a description? Okay. Um, I think the joke is something that us humans are doing. I don't think that bots can understand jokes. So this is one indication that this may not be a bot. Second of all, she's following Elon Musk for sure. There you go. So make sure you're following all kinds of individuals who are famous. Do not follow small channels because you're gonna. It's not good when people think that they have a certain amount of followers, but they actually have way less. It's not good because when you don't interact with somebody's post, you're ruining it for them a bit. So if you are, following somebody, make sure it's celebrities, people who will not really care, people who have enough followers. Okay. Now, another interesting thing about this profile picture is that I did not go on Google. Okay. And I said portrait. Okay, I wrote portrait and I extracted the first image on the first page. I got this lady and that's it. This is my profile picture now, forever and ever. No, you actually go into a proper stock website, for example, Freepik. I think it's Freepik. Yeah, with a K. And then you look for portrait. Ooh. Okay, you look for the free portraits. There's all kinds of filters along the side. Now, instead of going for the first few pages, I would go for like 108 page, right? Somewhere that is not very easy to see. And I would go for a picture like this, right? It's a human being. He doesn't seem to be looking at the camera. He doesn't look like he's advertising anything. He looks like a regular person. And that's exactly how you want your bot to be. Cool. Now, once you set up this bot, I know that we've used it for very nice and cute purposes. It likes all kinds of posts and it's really, really nice. But nothing prevents us, what prevents us from, instead of going for the like button, going for the retweet button or going for the comment button, right? Because we could have pressed here, we could have pressed here, and we could have continued this automation further. We could have created a costume message. We could have concatenated random phrases like hi, ahoy, hey, hello. So each and every one of our comments would be different from one another. Another way we could have taken this is, how about, well, maybe our bot will first like 5 posts, then it will retweet 2 posts, and then it will, reply on a bunch of messages. That could be an option too. And we can randomize those things. Now, if we run this bot 5 times a day, or even 2 times a day, we are actually creating, like, we only press on a few buttons, but this bot, it actually has a life of its own. You can see that it's active twice a day, and you would assume it's a person, because if it's a bot, well, they're not going to be active twice a day, but it's just as easy. Now, an interesting thing. So that would get reported as spam. This is a great question. Now, I have a spamming bot that nobody has detected. It's an Instagram spamming bot. I did not try it here. Now, the reason why it wasn't detected is because of random weight, if you ask me, and because of concatenating. So basically, instead of writing a message to hello there, I am concatenating the name of the person who wrote the message. So if I'm replying to somebody, I'm not replying to hey human. No, I'm replying to hey Swapnil, right? I would fetch it from the page and I would use it inside my message. On top of that, I would customize the message. So one message would be hi Swaphill. Another message will be hello Swaphill. Another one will be ahoy. And you can concatenate all kinds of phrases in there. You don't really need it to be very sophisticated. There's sentiment analysis bots. Yeah, these can be really, really sophisticated. I think that Twitter has a bunch of them, right? Because this code that we're using here, it's meant to be accessible for everyone, including beginners, including people who don't have much experience with Python. However, imagine what people who are black hat hackers, imagine what they've been doing with the exact same technology for years. And that's my main issue with bots. It's It's everywhere. You cannot stop it. And why is it everywhere? Okay, let's take a look at my notifications. Okay, I have a bunch of followers. What? This is a bot. It was created 2 weeks ago. It's not, the only thing it's doing is liking a bunch of posts from the get go. It doesn't have any other interaction with anybody, and it already has 76 followers. What? Okay, let's click on it. What is this? What are all these? Do you think these are actual humans? No, these are bots. These are as bots, as botty as it gets. Okay, I don't even know which language it is, you guys. It's just never ending stream of bots. Now imagine if each of these bots has their own mechanism of running. Some of them are following people, some of them are liking posts, some of them are distributing other posts. How can we really tell a human from a bot? It's very, very, very difficult. So whenever those platforms are saying, well, we only have 5% bots on the platform. Really? How is that something that you can know? How is that information that you actually have? That's my biggest question. Okay, Katrina, were you liking a load of posts on Japanese Twitter? No, I've been looking for all kinds of at first I was looking for Python, HTML, JavaScript, PyScript, all kinds of stuff like that. And then after I liked so many posts there, I moved to rainbows, butterflies, bunnies, and things of that sort. I don't know where all these people came from. Honestly, this is news to me. These bots came from. Okay. If the tweets are not seen by the owner of the account will be flagged as fake. What do you mean if the tweets are not seen by the owner of this account? Can't you see it? Like, I think it's seen. Like this, there's a chance that this account will be flagged as fake for sure. There's always a chance. That's why we use a dummy account to do all the scraping. But the way for the bot to be detected is much more difficult when we are using a WebDriver, this browser window. I'm curious to see, anybody here works in cybersecurity? Anybody here are your working position is working for those companies and trying to figure out how to prevent bots from working? I'm really curious to see if a WebDriver is something that somebody can detect. Because again, what's the difference between me interacting with this page or Lily interacting with this page? I'm only running a single instance, right? This is a single account, an account I prepared in advance. And, very often I use this bot, right? I run it, but sometimes I click on the page. I clicked human interaction. So my question is there a way to differentiate whether, the typing events on the keyboard, whether this happens due to an input from somebody's computers or from somebody's code? I don't think so. Just a hypothesis. Okay. Now let's see. I just heard that on the news, that is how they are flagging fake accounts. There's several ways to flag fake accounts. Yeah, not just this. They have a bunch. Yeah, but again, I don't think they can say with certainty that a percentage of bots was detected, right? It is very, very difficult. Okay. Can JavaScript detect keystrokes? Yeah, for sure. You can detect keystrokes, but the problem is our bot is entering those keys as well. Right? The same way we are typing on a keyboard, our bot is typing on a keyboard too. So this is where I kind of, this is where I'm a bit, I don't know how it looks like on the end of the company, right? I don't know how it looks like on the end of the website we are targeting. Okay. I want YouTube views and like and subs increase bot. No. Bots is not something you do to promote your own business or company or to do things. Do not do it. You don't want any fake users watching your YouTube tutorials, right? Because why do you do this YouTube thing? You do this to share your knowledge with people. You do this to help someone. You don't just do it so that people will think you have lots of followers. If that's your purpose, I don't know if YouTube is the right place for you. In the end of the day, if you don't focus on real people, if you do not interact with real people, you don't have anybody watching. And you want people to watch, on YouTube it's much more problematic to run bots. I'll tell you for a fact because I know that bots on YouTube are being deleted on a monthly basis. I notice it. I'm sure that on other platforms, it's the exact same thing, right? But again, it's very hard to detect bots that we create with a WebDriver. If we create them with a headless driver, sure, I detect them in a second, right? But when we use a driver window, how would you tell a human from a bot? This is my question. Okay. Is this integration of YouTube and OnlyFans? This is a live stream on LinkedIn and YouTube. Okay, most bots aren't subtle, actually. Yes, most bots are incredibly malicious. Incredibly malicious. So let's quickly talk about some potential attacks that bots can perform, right? Because in most cases, those bots, they pretend to be real people. Let's take a look at those bots we've looked at earlier, right? This Mizuki, right? She looks like a pretty girl. All these Yuna and Nana and all those pretty nice ladies, right? All of them are here. Now, it's just as easy to set up a believable bot account. In their case, it's not very believable because they have all kinds of, like, I don't know, I would never believe them. But in the end of the day, if you set your account the same way that Lily is, it's going to be very, very difficult to tell she's a bot. Very difficult. Now, why do they pretend to be like somebody? So this is something that we call a phishing attack. And I don't mean phishing in terms of fishes. Hold on. I don't mean, I have a prop here. I don't mean this type of phishing, right? There's a fish, right? It's my cat's doll. This is not the type of phishing I'm talking about. I'm talking about phishing with PH, phishing, okay? This is where somebody pretends to be a trustworthy entity and they are not, okay? So one example, and I think many, many folks have experienced this one. So I wonder if it happened to you guys ever. If it did, please let me know in the comments below. I'm going to get rid of this banner from here, okay? So let's use this banner now, okay? Cool. So whoever happened a situation that you got a direct message on Facebook saying that, oh my God, Maria, I've seen you in this video. This is horrible. You need to talk to them to get it down, and it's a message you get from somebody who is trustworthy, your friend, somebody who is, from childhood, from work, people that you usually interact with, and you see this message and you freak out like, oh my God, I'm in this video and there's something about this video that is really bad and I need to take care of it. So you click on the link and the link says, well, in order to see the video, you need to log into your Facebook account first. And then you don't think, you panic, you freak out, you type your login, you type your password, okay? And instead of seeing the video, all your friends are now getting a direct message from you this time, not from your friend, not from your coworker, saying that, oh my God, Julian, there's a video of you there. You need to watch it. You need to take it down. Okay, so this is how it spreads. So in some cases, they pretend to be Facebook, and they have a copy of the Facebook website that looks exactly the same. The only difference is that it's a completely different URL. Okay, but because people are freaking out, they read something that is really, really, really scary to folks, because they're scared. They don't think about these stuff and they just skip all the checking mechanisms and they just provide their information to malicious hackers. Now, the way to tackle this is just to change your password, right? It's not a difficult one, but in some cases, I'm sure many of you have seen it on Twitter, on YouTube and Instagram. People pretend to be me. And then they comment on your comments. They reply to you and they say, oh my God, you just won a huge prize. Why don't you go into this WhatsApp account and Telegram? All these attacks, they would not be possible if social media platforms would take care of this bot creating mechanism. Because if I was able to create it and I'm still a student, imagine what experienced folks with malicious intentions are doing for years, right? It's insane. Insane. The amount of things they can come up with is wow. Just wow. Okay. Question. Is the click position always the same on buttons? No, sometimes buttons change. Sometimes. That's why it's the last option. If you don't have any unique identifiers on an element, so you don't have an option. You need to click on it by index, right? But if you have unique identifiers, this is much, much better than just going by index. Because what if tomorrow the layout changes? This could happen. Cool. Some people are disabled and use devices to type for them with regular pauses. That's right. Yeah, not just type, screen readers, right? Why is the alt attribute is so important in HTML images? We need this alt attribute because if the image cannot be displayed, so if your internet connection is slow, it's not going to be displayed. You will see the description of the image. Another reason is so that people who are blind, will be able to understand what's going on the page. So they usually have a program that reads the web page for them. And yeah, this is something. And again, social media companies, they need to figure out how they can filter all those humans from bots, right? Because we will automate browsers. People are using Selenium all the time. This is not a malicious tool. This is something that folks are using for automation, for testing. It's a very popular tool. It's a popular set of tools, right? So, yeah, cool. We have folks from Morocco here. Hello, Fatima. Thank you. Thank you for joining the stream. We have so many ladies here tonight. That's awesome. This morning. It's not night here. Okay. What's the best host for Selenium bots? Hosts, you just run it in a text file. You just create, Python file. You either create it with Sublime or VS Code or whatever you use, and you run it, or you run it with a Jupyter Notebook. You don't really host it. If you want to host it as part of an application or something of that sort, it's up to you. Heroku is a free hosting site, but they had some issues with security lately. I don't know if you guys got the email, but there was some kind of an attack on Heroku that was somehow related to GitHub. I'm not sure. I don't have this email to pull out very easily. Okay, that's right. Dating scam bots, right? But the thing is, those dating scam bots, I don't think that they are interested in just convincing somebody that, oh, we're going to build a life together. Just let's just be together and we're fine. No, they do this so they can, fish for some very important information, such as your credit card. Maybe buy me a gift, maybe buy me a gift. I'm such a nice bot, right? So send me your credit card information. Things of that sort. Because in some cases you see a Facebook account, right? In some cases you see like a Facebook login page and you do this, but in some cases it's your bank. In some cases it's your bank account that it's being attacked, or you get an email from your email provider that you cannot send any more emails. Okay. And if you'd like to fix it, please click on this link. So what those black hats are doing, like what hackers are doing, they are basically taking your human factor, because we're human. We have emotions. We have certain things that affect us, psychologically, and they exploit it. Right. So they either convince us of things that are not true, or they create a story for us to be very sad about, and this is how they extract information from us. Okay, Selenium can also send single keys to an input field. This can be used to fake human interactions. That's right. Everything that Selenium, a lot of tools that Selenium has is just faking human interaction. Yeah. Maria, are you a web developer or AI or mobile developer? I'm more of a front-end kind of person, Jonathan. I'm more of a graphic design, front-end kind of a thing. I do have a bit of knowledge about databases and servers and things of that sort, but much more front-end than anything else. Yeah, I come from graphic design originally. Okay, let's see. Theoretically, you could run Selenium headless on your Android phone. Yeah, so I run Selenium headless from Wasescript. I used to have a video. I think it used to be on Wasescript's YouTube account. So whenever you're using a cloud interface to run your code, you can also use it on your mobile phone, of course, like smartphone, mobile phone. Okay. Could always use a Raspberry Pi to run your scripts. Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Anything that runs, anything that has a runtime. Okay, I pick up the dating scams because they are always targeted at men. That's why I'm curious, like, how come Lily Potter is being targeted? Okay, I believe previous methods of making tutorial videos is best instead of making live videos. I agree. So basically what happened today is a lot of technical issues. Like, this is not replacing regular tutorials in any shape or form. I just thought that we can do this together and it will be really nice. I did not know that I'm going to get technical problems this time. But no, this is not replacing regular videos. This is just an extra streaming session that I've added. And yeah, usually it's better. If you watch the previous ones, they were much better. Okay, your email quota is full. Old scam from 20 years ago. I got one 2 weeks ago. Not so old. Not so old. It's if it worked before, it's gonna work again. Okay, what about Discord, which is full of bots and spams? But Discord is, you kind of use bots so they can help you, right? In the end of the day, on our server, Badger is not working on our bot for the code jam. So in certain platforms, bots are good. Now on social media, is there a bot that, if you type date or time with a certain, with a certain character, does it show you the date and time across the world? I don't think so. You cannot add functionality to social media platforms like that it doesn't have, right? In Discord, you're adding functionality that did not exist before. And it's something that you kind of program to make your interactions with the users a bit better. But yeah. Okay. Where did you go to school? I went to BCIT. Oh, Sheldon. Hello. We have British Columbians in here. I'm still going to school. Actually, I was about to go to SFU. I was supposed to, and I'm glad I didn't because they were not operational for quite some time. I ended up starting a degree with the University of London. It's an online degree kind of a thing. But my spouse, he went to BCIT. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, awesome. We have people from my area here. Amazing. Cool. Run Selenium headless. I ran it to create a Best Buy bot. It was checking whether, it was checking whether a certain product was available, and I believe that was the PS5, which is probably still not available. Okay. Okay. So every time I'm picking up Dark Wolf's post, it's usually a reply to Woodbuff. Okay. Do you have a plan to teach us program parallel tasks in Python, multi-threading? I have a video about it. Actually, I have a playlist about it, a few videos. Let's pull it out. So actually, one of my favorite videos, my CUDA tutorial. Let's go to my channel. You can navigate downwards, and there you go. This is Parallel Computing Simplified. There's a bunch of videos here. The RTX giveaway is not supposed to be there. I don't know why I placed it there, but yeah, this is Parallel Computing. 2 videos on that. Cool. Okay, Twitter bots that post on their own timeline can be useful, like a local Coast Guard's shipping forecast, for example. Yes. The only problem is none of those platforms that we are using allows the usage of bots. Okay, so the community guidelines do not allow you to automate processes. So if you have a brand account, if you're working I would never use my personal account for that. Okay, correction. I've used my personal account at the very beginning because I didn't know. But now that I know, I would never, ever use it because there's no point in taking a risk. There's really no point of doing so. If you can create a similar account to your brand account, you can call it in a very similar name. And then you can just use that to do your web scraping from. But yeah, it's much better to do with a dummy account. Okay, let's see. Can AI be trained to act like human, like bot? Yes. Yeah. Reinforcement learning in particular. Yes, for sure. And I think a lot of bots we see on Twitter, they actually are trained on sentiment analysis. They know how to understand the topic of the comment, and then they just comment something unrelated. Again, what we do is very, very simple. Very, very simple, but it can be expanded further. Okay, hello, Jay. I just start learning Python with you since the first video. So inspiring. Since the first video. Oh, wow, interesting. So Jay, I was hoping to have a much nicer tutorial for you today. I kind of messed up. My apologies. My plan was to have an army of bots after today. But I guess we'll just wait. We'll just wait a bit. I'm going to post my code in seconds. Like once I'm done with the stream, I'm going to go to GitHub right away. We'll figure it out. Okay. I got my certificate now for my advanced .NET web development, SQL development, and admin. Oh, okay. So you're doing like a computer science thing in BCIT. Cool. Cool. I didn't know they have like courses like that. That's really nice. Okay. What else? What else? I like XPath, very useful with Selenium. I find that targeting, selecting by XPath is a bit easier. It works more times than selecting by CSS and other ways. It works a bit more smoothly in my case. Okay. Hello, how to develop and just create Twitter. How to create Twitter? Oh, it's going to take you years. It's a very complicated platform. It's not an easy social media platform to make. Happy Python live session birthday. Where is the party? The party is tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow is my birthday. Thank you so much, guys. Cooking a lot. It's going to be a great dinner. Okay, can I get posts from Facebook and post them on a website, for example? Yeah, you can fetch and post things on a website. Again, everything that you can do with your mouse and keyboard, you can do with Selenium. There's no difference, right? You have commands both for entering input. You have commands for clicking, for following links. That's why we need Selenium for. Okay. Dark Wolf, what do you think about making a Google extension? I think that would be a great video. I know I haven't done one yet. I prefer to teach you guys about things that I'm experienced with. I'm supposed to be experienced with this bot thing. It was supposed to work. It didn't work. But generally, the way that I'm creating my tutorials is like, okay, that's what I have. If you want to have the same thing, just follow these instructions. I don't like going beyond my knowledge. Okay, hello from England. Been doing Kiwi and Beautiful Soup tutorials. Nice, awesome. Yeah, Beautiful Soup directly relates to Selenium, and Beautiful Soup is an example of a headless browser. Yeah, browser. Driver browser. Okay, I have been trying to write a binary tree today for evaluating expressions. It is hard doing. It's a very interesting algorithm. I actually like binary trees. I do. It's very, very fun. But yeah. I don't think I have it in code. I have it in lots of drawings and, from my algorithms and data structure courses. But yeah, it's fun. Video on Auto GUI. Maybe. Never tried it before. Okay. Okay, I've done something similar using TypeScript and Angular. Yeah, you can use more than just one programming language for that. You can do this with all kinds of programming languages. Did you take a break from posting videos for a while? I've not seen many Instagram posts or videos in the last few months. I do not use Instagram, Sheldon. Nope. I'm off of Instagram for the past half a year. I deleted my Facebook account. Not on this type of social media. Oh, Aiden. Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Awesome. So, Aiden, just to keep you posted, this stream, I messed up a little bit. Some of my code, I had some unexpected surprises during the stream. I've done the extra step of making sure that my bot's account is authenticated so that people are not going to try to log into my bot account and changing my password while I am scraping it, right? So I thought it would be a good idea, and it wasn't. Okay, now I'm going to make another video of this. I'm going to do a step-by-step video, a proper one, or maybe, yeah, I'm going to do this maybe even later on today, just to make sure that we have everything organized properly. I don't want you guys to waste any time. I want you guys to have all the information in front of you, and I want you to have it accessible. Okay, this stream was not as successful, and my apologies about that. Yeah. Cool. What else do we have here? Any other Okay, you guys are talking about cereal. Wow. Amazing. Like, I didn't eat cereal for so long. Hey, we all mess up a little bit sometimes. I'm sure it'll be a fun stream to watch. I hope so. When I rewatch it, I hope not to cry. Honestly, I was planning something so bombastic, and that's why. I guess that's why it didn't work. I should just plan on humble stuff. Okay, can you create a bot for OK Google with voice commands? Yeah, probably. Probably. It's going to be a bit more difficult. Like, I don't know. I'm not an expert on audio input. I've done a single application that uses audio as the data. This one was with C++, so I cannot really share it with you guys. It's going to be a nightmare. But yeah, you can do all kinds of stuff. If anything you can do with a keyboard, with a microphone, with sensors, with anything that can be converted into numbers, you can probably do it with Selenium. Okay, I didn't try everything. I only tried the social media scraping those platforms, and that's pretty much where my experience is. Everything else is still a mystery to me. Or scraping databases too. I've done that a few times as well. It's good to know things don't go smoothly even for the experts. Well, I don't know if I'm an expert. I keep reminding you guys that I'm just a student. I'm trying to share as much knowledge as I can with you guys all the time. Okay, every time I see me on Instagram, I always wonder how many computer screens you have now. Just one. Just one. I don't need another one. Okay, did she cover the deployment to a server of a bot? No. No. But of a web application, yes. Like I have a Flask tutorial where, I've showed you how to deploy it both with WaveScript and both with Heroku. Again, Heroku had some issues with security lately, so just keep that in mind. Cool. What else is here? What about Maria? Can you make a time machine in Python? The code of time machine. Of course. What do you mean? If you can do this with a keyboard and mouse. I'm joking. No, I can't. I wish I could. Then I would go back to before this stream and I would not add this two-factor authentication on my bot. Where is presentation showing? I can't watching, Maria. So it's showing on LinkedIn and it's showing on YouTube. It is not showing on Rumble. I tried, just doesn't work. Yeah. Heroku is suspicious. Okay, can't use SQLite 3 for databases. Well, if it's a simple application, there's no reason why not. If it's something complex, sure, I'd probably go for something like MySQL. Okay, what else? I made a Raspberry Pi thing light up, which was cool. Nice. What is the function of sentiment analysis? That would be an entire neural network. Okay, look it up. Type sentiment analysis techniques and see what comes out. It's a bit more complicated than what I can explain to you right now. It involves a lot of machine learning and artificial intelligence. We have something that's no, it's not exactly sentiment analysis. It's more of a predicting algorithm. But sentiment analysis is basically, so the first thing you do is you get rid of all the stop words, you get rid of all the punctuation symbols, and you are trying to detect specific words, inside your message. And based on that, you are then deciding what would be the message you reply. Okay, so it's very much more complicated than what I can explain at the moment. So yeah, definitely look it up. Is there a way to create an automation registration of Instagram accounts? You guys. Yes, I will not show you how to do it. No. So how it works is you will need to find a mechanism to both create email accounts and both create Instagram accounts and both be able to break a bunch of captchas. Because whenever we create a new user account on a social media, we're always presented with some kind of a captcha. And that's why it's there, so that we cannot create an army of bots just like that, right? So we are prevented from creating an army of bots, a botnet, right? A network of bots. But we are not prevented from creating a single bot which can automate all kinds of processes, okay? So the reason why we are prevented from this is, I know you guys are probably familiar with distributed denial of service attack. Okay, the reason why we are not allowed to create all this multiple accounts on social media, and the reason why I will not teach you how to do this, is because it can be used for very malicious purposes. With 100 bots, you can actually, well, maybe a bit more, you can actually affect a website. You can actually create something that will prevent legitimate users from accessing a website just because your bots are trying to make all kinds of requests to it. Okay, so I do not recommend to do this at all. This is a huge problem on the internet. Okay. And yeah, I'm not going to show you how to do it for sure. Sorry. Yeah, and we can bypass captchas, by the way. Okay, I recommend after 8 years with a friend yesterday, and she told me she was interested in learning programming and she had an idea of something with machine learning. Nice. I mentioned your channel for her. Nice. Thank you so much. Now, I actually started learning from an academy. I might actually pull out this course because I'll tell you what, I've noticed it was free not too long ago. I paid $600 for it, okay, but not too long ago. So it was Udacity. It was AI programming. Okay, let's see if they have it available. Okay, yeah, they still want you to pay money, but they had such a course not too long ago. They had availabilities for free, which was incredible, right? Now, with this course, once you combine it with some information that I have on my channel, like things that you don't understand on the course, and then I explain them to you, that's a great combination, because everything I couldn't understand on the course, that's what I've done in my machine learning series. Okay, so yeah, that's where I learned basically the basic principles, and then I just kind of I went to all kinds of different sources after this, but that was my initial course. This is where I learned Python, actually. Yeah. So do you have a tutorial for scraping for posts? Because I don't want to use Facebook, but I need to see some posts. Yeah, I have actually it's scraping images rather than posts on Facebook, but everything I show you how to do, you can just adjust it. Because the way I run those tutorials is I always show you what I do, and then you can just apply the same techniques on different websites. So the keynote is to click on the right arrow button key on inspect. Then you can click on this arrow key, okay? And you can select any element you'd like to interact with. And then this element will appear right beside you on the screen. You can see the source code of this element. You can see it's a span with a class, and that way you can target it inside your code. Okay, same goes for Facebook, same goes for Instagram. And yeah, you can apply it on all kinds of different social platforms. But if you're looking for where you can find my bots, that's on GitHub. Actually, oh, you know what? Actually, I have a nice banner for you guys. I have this one. Ah, look at that. Look at that. I messed up everything else, but the banners, I got them right. Okay, so github.com/Maria Shah. Okay, now, anything that has to do with Instagram, you have here a commenting bot, an image extracting bot, an imposter destroying bot, which is basically a spamming bot. Okay, so watch out. Watch out from this one. Okay, and we have my very first tutorial, which is my very first programming tutorial on automation. It was 2 years ago. It's one of the most forked and one of the most starred repositories I have, and yet nobody in Instagram detected this bot. You know, so it's so weird to me. It is so weird to me. I find it ridiculous that for 2 years, nothing changed on this platform. How come this code is still working? It doesn't make any sense, right? And in here, if you can look at other repositories of mine, you can find all kinds of other scraping tutorials. So web scraping LinkedIn, where I have 2 bots. I have a connecting bot and I have a messaging bot. Okay, all those codes are available. All of them are done with Jupyter Notebook. Okay, and if I click on one of them, you can see all those commands we've used. So it's, in most cases, it's almost like a copy and paste situation, right? We find elements by XPath and input with the name of session key. You know, it's anybody can do that. Anybody can do that. With the most little knowledge of Python, we can do that. So that's why I'm so upset about those platforms. How come they're not solving those issues? How many other people need to be tricked in order for them to, you know, to do any type of action on this? It's just upsetting. Okay. Sounds like an await async tutorial should be made. Yeah, probably. Well, I need to redo this tutorial from the get-go. Please make a video on triggering a long-running background jobs without affecting UI. Very specific. Very specifically. If I see somebody else asking me, yeah, I'll get on with it. I'll do it for sure. If I see a lot of requests for something, I cover it. No question asked. Okay, I was glad to just find Cheburashka Igena reference in parts of the stream that I missed. Okay. I know. It's a really nice show. I used to love it. Could you start making videos, but replacing automations done using Selenium with requests? I don't know if you can replace Selenium with requests, because requests are usually done. Correct me if I'm wrong. I might be wrong. They're usually done directly from your code. So you're making the request from your Python notebook, and you request the page to open. While when we use Selenium, we have a middleman, which is much, much better than requesting directly from your code, because our code interacts with the WebDriver, with the browser window, and our browser window interacts with the actual website. So the website doesn't know anything about our code. It only knows about the processes that are going on the WebDriver. So I don't think so, but I might be wrong. Okay. Thank you for Udacity. I will mention this to her. Yeah, for sure. Another course I took was autonomous vehicles on Udemy. I believe this one was either like $20 or very, very free. I did on Udacity, I've done the nano degree. Okay. But again, I noticed that once in a while, these go for free. I don't know how. I feel very stupid for paying $600 for that, but it is what it is. Okay. Simplify. Do you believe in parallel universe? The biggest question ever. I'm sure there are. I'm sure they exist. 100%. Any video on debugging, finding an error is a pain. Well, debugging. Yeah, I can probably make some kind of an exercise. I can make a piece of code. Oh, my hair. I can make a piece of code that is very messy and buggy, and we can try to debug it. Sure, I'll write it down somewhere. It's a good programming principle for sure. Usually the way to avoid, by the way, the way to avoid such errors is just to build up your code step by step. Run it before you make bombastic changes. Change one thing at a time, and then, just check it. Cool. So Avazart, for solve CAPTCHA, you can use special services RuCAPTCHA. Interesting. I was thinking more of a neural network that is trained on a collection of CAPTCHAs. So for example, I believe it's a database on Kaggle CAPTCHA database. Just want to show it to you guys. Yeah, CAPTCHA images. So somebody already created a database of CAPTCHAs for us. And so the easiest thing in the world to do is to take a pre-trained neural network. It's already trained, it's already smart, it's already ready. And then we could just train it on this database, which has only 1,070 files. Okay, it's not too much. Okay, so there must be other databases. But yeah, somebody already created these for us. They're available. There's types of CAPTCHAs that we can solve quite effortlessly. Yeah. All the bots keep adding me on Instagram and Facebook, especially the girl bots. Yeah. Yep. That's what happens. Maybe you follow certain hashtags that they target all the time, or maybe they just target everyone. I haven't been on Instagram for a while. Do I want to improve my Python learning? What exactly can I do? Practice. Come up with some projects. So for example, come up with some games that you've been playing for a very long time. A trivia game, a chess game, maybe Sudoku, things of that sort, and try to solve them. Try to implement them with code. Now, it doesn't have to be a fancy game with a graphic user interface and everything, but start small and build it up. Think of projects, achieve them. If you need ideas for projects, you know where to find them. I have a bunch of projects on my website, on my channel, and with time, it will become much more natural to you. My first few applications were terrible. Terrible. Yeah, I don't like them. I'm ashamed of them, but in the end of the day, you get better and better with time, with practice. Last time I used Selenium and Java was in object-oriented system analysis and design course. Interesting. BCIT stuff. Was CAPTCHA created to truly stop automation, or was created to teach computers to learn? I think CAPTCHA goes back to a Turing test in the end of the day. It's a Turing test determines whether a piece of technology is human or not. And the first couple CAPTCHAs, Until we figured out how to do machine learning and deep learning and AI, CAPTCHAs were very, very effective. Very effective because we had no way of, interpreting an image. We had a way of interpreting text. We could fetch it with our Selenium, but whenever we fetch, when we fetch an image, we need to find a way of understanding what those letters that those image contained within the image. For this, we need artificial intelligence. For this, we usually need a classification neural network or I forgot how they're called. I forgot. They have a special name for those. Recurrent neural network? Not sure. I'll need to look into it. But the CAPTCHAs were very effective until AI came to the picture. Now, every piece of code, you can include what I just showed you, right? You can include a neural network that was already trained on a collection of CAPTCHAs, and it can be easily broken. Now, some folks, actually on Twitter, I believe, the last time we spoke about it with a viewer, he was talking about a CAPTCHA that is scrollable. I've never seen it, but they told me something human technology, something that is called. It's supposed to be very effective. I don't know. My rule of thumb is if a human can do it, a computer can do it as well. But I don't know. Just my idea. Can you please teach us machine learning? Well, if you look on my channel, I have a really nice playlist. Now, machine learning, I believe, is mostly covered. There's a lot of things that I didn't cover, right? We can do all kinds of different things with it. But in terms of classification, machine learning is pretty much covered on the channel. YouTube. Oh, okay. That's why. I need to drag it from here. I have it. There you go. So this is my channel. I have a full playlist that has to do with parallel with AI. So machine learning databases, for example, that's the video you can find. And there's all kinds of different, there's all kinds of other videos that you can access for machine learning. Now, next things we'll be doing on the channel is deep learning. It's going to be very, very interesting. Lots of accounts created from the same IP address would trigger spam detection stuff. Yeah, probably. But yeah, I don't think there's a simple way of breaking those CAPTCHAs and creating those multiple accounts. So yeah, I say CAPTCHAs are breakable, but it's something that requires some work. It's not very easy to do. Not as easy to do as automating the website, which is automated. Okay, I want to make something. Where do I start? Well, you first need an idea. Have a plan, and then make it. Just make sure you have a basic knowledge of Python, and then you can always expand it, right? On my channel, I have a bunch of videos instructing on how to expand this knowledge. So for example, let's have a look. This guy, Python learning roadmap. This one, I basically go over all the Python topics one by one. And and I'm introducing you to them. Cool. Okay, we've seen this one. Okay, so let's go down. Audio version of reCAPTCHA is possible, I suppose. Hook it up with an Android phone with speech to text to it. Interesting. She doesn't have decorator videos. I know, Badger. I know. Badger was highly encouraging me to film those. Do you have any videos about Python? Yeah, okay, that's his answer. Okay, let's see. I'm so happy you guys are talking in the comment. That's exactly what I wanted to create. I wanted a discussion about those bots. But I know many Python modules that use requests to automate tasks. I feel like using Selenium is not clean, not expert in Python, if you see what I mean. I'm not sure what's not clean about Selenium, but in order to run Beautiful Soup, you need to use requests. But again, this is a headless driver. This is not a window that pops up in your system from which you automate code. So if your objective is not to be detected, I would always use this browser window. Because if it's not there, what exactly prevents, the website from detecting you? I don't think, a lot of websites, they have a inside their head tag, inside their HTML, they have a bot blocking mechanism. So whenever a piece of code is interacting, making requests to a website, it's very easy to detect. But whenever a browser window is making requests to this website, it resembles a human, especially if there's a different wait time between the interactions of this browser. Why every other programmer creates projects like tic-tac-toe or rock and paper and specific reason? Does it help programming skills rather than creating real-world projects? Real-world projects, it's something that takes months upon years of development, right? So I don't know about other developers, but my particular channel has a lot of videos that are simplified. That's all about simplification. If I cannot simply explain something, that probably means I don't know it. That's my that's my principle here, right? So I teach you how to make simple applications, but other people, they have more complicated systems, right? It depends on who you're watching. I find that it's much easier to follow along with somebody, just code along. And yeah, if you want to code along an application such as Facebook with me, this will take us a year. It will take us a very long time. So time considerations, it's probably one of them. Okay. I have a question from everybody on YouTube. Anybody use Raspberry Pi? Richard, there are a bunch of people here that are already confirmed they are using it. So definitely check out the comments. Udbav, good night. Happy birthday to myself. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. Hi, Maria. Did you know about PyScript? What do you think about it? Giovanni, this was our last stream. It was about PyScript. It was a bit more successful than this stream. I wasn't as, it's funny because I prepared so much for this stream. I memorized all those commands and I memorized all the steps, and then I had this unexpected thing that kind of interrupted me in the middle. But yeah, PyScript is pretty cool. At this point of time, we don't know much about it because it's way too new. Some people are saying it will replace JavaScript. Some people are saying it will not. There's a lot of strong opinions here. Okay. And yeah, it is what it is at this point of time. There was a question on the last stream regarding PyScript that I didn't have a chance to answer. My computer just got my Windows crashed on me, and I was starting to answer it, and then it crashed in the middle, and then I couldn't return to the same question because I forgot all about it. I was freaking out. So the question was, will it affect Anvil? So if you guys remember, Anvil is a website that allows you to drag and drop elements. It creates websites with Python only. It's a web service. And basically, it's like a Photoshop for websites. Now, it gives you different tools than PyScript. So my question is, I don't think it's going to affect them at all because it's different. It's just like opening Illustrator and like placing elements with a nice GUI on the page, right? You have all these controls. It's very artistic. It's great for applications you're building fast, right? I don't think it's a competition with PyScript. I think that what's the competition with PyScript is Python, which is something that Katrina pointed out in the comments. That would be the direct competition, and JavaScript, of course. But again, JavaScript, 2 weeks after JavaScript was announced, nobody used it, okay? People started to it became really popular after Node.js came out. So I think that people who are judging PyScript right now, just because there is no documentation and nobody really knows how to use it, it's too early to judge. That's my opinion on this, okay? Awesome. Thank you so much for sticking around so late at night. Thank you guys. Wow. Okay, C#. I don't know C#, you guys. A C++ kind of girl. Are you or any of your team Discord available for paid private tutoring? I haven't thought of it, Aiden. Honestly, I haven't really. Probably not in the near future because I'm still learning. I'm still a student. But yeah, it's something we could do. It's something I was hoping to make this this live streaming interaction. That's what I was planning to do. I was planning to do like webinars and things of that sort, but I wasn't expecting technical issues. And the best part about filming tutorials in advance is that you can always edit things out, right? If something doesn't turn out right, if you have a typo, you can always fix it. So in the end of the day, people get the finished product rather than myself being confused and, oh my God, how do I fix it? I don't know, So I think it's a bit better in that form. But yeah, I'll think about it for sure. The guys might be able to. Aiden, just join us on Discord. Join our Discord and check out with the guys. How to have functions then run every 1 minute precisely. Okay, there are a few ways to do so. Now, if you're using WaveScript, you can use a cron trigger, basically. I think I've showed it in a tutorial a very long time ago, and I think it was a tutorial on WaveScript's channel. Now, another way to do so is from Windows. We have a task scheduler, some kind of a mechanism here. Now, I haven't tested it with Windows 11, and I don't want to look so confused trying to look for it, okay? But you have a task scheduler, and you can set a specific file to run every specific amount of time. I would not use a 1 minute amount of time, probably, because that's a bit too much. It will take up all the functionality of your computer. But yeah, you can set these tasks up. Can you do a bot that alerts you when they are free? Like a course, you mean? Yeah, probably. You can set up email notifications, I believe, and text notifications as well. There's all kinds of ways to solve it. But yeah, everything you can do with your mouse and keyboard and with your eyes and with your mouth, you can probably do with a bot. Well, no, like they're related to computers. Okay, what else? Maria Shah, good day. And tomorrow. Thank you. Okay, what else? Hello, how long have you been coding? Okay, this is a good question. I've started when I was 12. I've started with HTML, CSS. I got my broadband internet connection, and then off I went. Now, it's interesting because I didn't really start coding because I liked coding. I was just drawing pixel art, and I wanted to show it to the world. So I created a website where I was storing my pixel art, and yeah, that was really, really nice. So that's why I started coding. I was building websites, and back then we wrote HTML and CSS on the same document. I'm older than I look. Yeah. And tomorrow it's going to be even older. Interesting. Okay, where is the links to access the code? I'll be updating it in my GitHub. I'll upload it once the stream is over. Yeah. Okay, what else? Please make a video on triggering a long-running background job. So yeah, I've seen this one. Are you a bot? Okay, no, I'm just reading old comments. That's why. Technical issues happen, but showing how to overcome them are the best for learning. Thanks for streaming. I know it's good to show, but I freak out at the same time. I'm like, it was supposed to be perfect. What's going on? It's not perfect. Oh no. And then you start thinking about it, and it's so, whew, it's a battle with myself. Okay. Can you please upload your pixel art? Well, Aiden, I was 12 when I drawn it. I don't know where it is, but I actually have a lot of cool stuff I've been drawing. I wonder where I saved it. I promise I will. I will for sure. I'll start uploading it very, very soon. Okay. I've totally hit a wall with OOP, really struggling with it and starting to have a lot of self-doubt. Object-oriented programming is not the most easiest principle to grasp. Now, have you seen the videos I have on object-oriented programming? Now, we're going to have a few other exercises coming soon. I want to make an exercise of generating different vehicles. If you guys remember, we did a Pygame application not too long ago, and I want to make sure that instead of having one enemy vehicle, we will have a different enemy vehicle time and again. One of them will be a truck. One of them will be a sedan, something else is a convertible, things of that sort. And every vehicle will have its own class. So this is how we will practice object-oriented programming. If the 2 tutorials that I have at the moment, actually 3 tutorials I have in the moment are not enough, I'm going to film another one. Okay, don't worry. We'll figure it out together. We'll figure it out. Okay, bon anniversaire, Marie from Paris. Oh, thank you very much. I told you, everybody from Quebec and from France is calling me Marie. Nobody's calling me Maria. Okay, also bots do not render the JavaScript so they can get detected. Yeah, just trying to help me community in this channel as well. Yeah, tutoring stuff. Okay, I'll look into it after for sure. Nick Lutz, I love drawing pixel art cats. Nice, nice. It's been a while since I've drawn pixel art. Since I've been a professional graphic designer, so I know how to use vector art and things of that sort. Photoshop as well. Ever since I learned how to make vector art, I don't consider pixels as fun anymore. Yeah. So link to Discord. Badger just mentioned. Okay, so let's go into my YouTube channel. Okay, so YouTube Python Simplified. Hey, this is my Discord. Our Discord. Sorry, our. Oh, my head is blocking it. Okay, so click on this. This will get you into our server. Badger and Siam, Udbav, Tom, Josh are all there. They're moderators. They're helping you guys out, not just myself. I haven't been there in a bit, but yeah, this is the link to our Discord server. Cool. Gain access to the main part of our server. You have to accept the rules, FYI. Exactly. So once you log into the server, you need to click a thumbs up. You need to add a thumbs up on our rules, and then you have access to everything else. Cool. Okay, what is your favorite programming language? Well, that's easy. Python. 0 questions asked. I like JavaScript. I do. It's not the same. Python is so much better. I want to make Facebook depression analysis by only copying profile URL, then based on comments and likes, know that a person have depression. Can I get approach? How would you detect depression? Like, in order to see that somebody's struggling with something, I need to see their face. Usually, I don't know, maybe I'm weird, but to see somebody's face, to see somebody's expression. And when you are looking at text, on social media platforms, people are not writing what they think. Many often they censor themselves. Like many cases they would think something, but they say, okay, this is not appropriate. I cannot write it because if I write it, I'll be canceled. These days, if you are disagreeing with somebody over the smallest topic, they can just destroy your life. So I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to detect depression, as many other emotions, when you're dealing with just text of people in times where people are not speaking freely. I don't have a good suggestion there. Maybe somebody else in the comments has. Yeah. Okay, thanks for stream and video. Spasiba. Yeah, I'm gonna refilm a big part of it. I'm gonna make a really nice official tutorial on it as well. Again, my apologies, you guys. This was supposed to be a cooler stream. Okay, the greetings for everybody from Serbia, from all around the world. Thank you, guys. And then comments went with my name. The comment in which he wrote "Help community." Okay, hi, watching here from Brazil. Awesome, welcome, you guys. Cool. So Selenium is also detected, for example, when trying to log into Gmail using it. Google detects it and don't allow you to log in. Interesting. I haven't tried it. When this happens, try maybe selecting by index. Okay. I wonder what kind of error you get. Zerflix. Can you just tell me the type of error? I'll look forward to it in the comments. Okay, с днем рождения. Спасибо, Masha. Спасибо большое. Спасибо. Thank you so much. С днем рождения is happy birthday. It's tomorrow. Had to go. Friends are calling. Have a nice morning, evening, night. Thank you so much, Andre. Thank you for being with us. Yeah, we're gonna end this stream very, very soon. I'm just here answering some questions, and yeah, my apologies. It didn't go according to plan. Do you like Bash? I love Bash. I love Bash. I love Linux. I find it much more convenient than Windows, even though I'm using a pretty old version of Linux. Yeah, it's just something very convenient about it. When you just type reboot and your computer restarts, I don't know. I like it. Okay, with Gmail, presumably you could log in using IMAP. Yeah, I don't know. These services. You've made me think I should finally get a Twitter account just to test this out. I think so too. Yeah. So the initial idea was for all of us to have a Twitter account, because the real test is not my account. I have a feeling it's not going to be detected. Okay. Because it's just a feeling, right? But in my case, I'm sharing with everyone all the information about my account. So it's very easy to detect and delete. However, in your case, nobody knows how your bots look like. Nobody knows the usernames, the passwords, or whatever you're liking. So the real experiment is with your bots. That was my intention. And then things got a bit messy. Okay. So I'll just provide the full version of the code, and I'm going to film a proper tutorial on it, with a proper apology, of course. I'm Canadian. I apologize a lot. Okay, Gmail has settings. If you log in online, security settings allow third party, something like that, but it's going away soon. Yeah, probably. Yeah. And very often, again, those 2 steps authentication stuff, that's how they get you. Okay. Any interested in C#? Yeah, Badger. Badger is very interested. He's doing it all the time. Fast. He's coding extremely fast. Linux is awesome, especially for programmers. What is your preferred distro? My all-time favorite distro is CentOS 8. It's amazing. It's great. It's dead. I had to replace it with Alma Linux. Okay. And you to coding, just want to start. Where do I start first? Learn the basics of Python. Okay. So what I usually do is I go online, Python, free introduction course. I'm sure I have a typo. Yeah, there's all kinds of academies that offer you this, and they always have some kind of introduction courses. Now, I've tried Udemy, I've tried Coursera. Coursera, this is where I do my computer science degree. I tried Team Treehouse, I tried IDX, Udacity, and Udemy. Yeah, in all those cases. So most of these platforms, they have free introductory courses. Not all of them are like fancy degrees and fancy programs. So just look for I don't know, computer science and topics, and look for something for beginners. This is how you start. Now, after this, you need to start practicing your skills. You cannot just rely on this course, because this course gives you all the commands and all the things you need to know about programming in Python. But without practice, it's worth nothing. You're not going to remember anything. So the more you practice, the more you create projects, the better it is. And this is where creators like myself are getting into the picture. So once you learn the basics, you can then move on with any other library you'd like to learn, any other application you'd like to build, any kind of, if you're interested in artificial intelligence, learn PyTorch. If you're interested in applications, creating applications, learn Kiwi and KiwiMD, things of that sort. So I have a few videos on my channel that get you up to speed. Check out the roadmap. Python roadmap. Yeah, I don't think I have it open. Let's see. That's the one. Python. And of course, your comment is blocking it. So this is the Python learning roadmap. That's the video. That's the video I would check for this. Cool. Okay. Oh, nice. Oh, a bunch of other comments. Wow. Thanks for the stream. Good work. Thank you so much, Tobbs. I wish it was better work. I really wish. I really wish. Programming requires a lot of time and patience. You can do it faster with Python. You don't need a lot of time with Python. Python, I always say, if you know plain English, you know Python. It's very, very easy, relatively to other programming languages when you need to, worry about tags and semicolons and things of that sort. Hi, Maria. What do you think about API with Python? Could you please make a video about that? Yeah, people were asking me API questions. I'll need to put it on my list for sure. I'll have to do it. You guys are requesting. It's a must. But not scraping APIs, by the way. Yeah, I'm not. I like using them, but there's too much potential for harm when you use them. On top of providing you, so those APIs, they don't just provide you easy ways of accessing, of scraping platforms. They also provide you with like 100 proxies and 100 instances of Selenium that you can run simultaneously from your computer. And this is where we're going into like distributed denial of service attack territory. I don't want to have this power. I don't. There's plenty of API companies that I spoke to. Amazing people I met. I met some really, really nice people. in a video conference. But in the end of the day, it's not something I feel right teaching you how to do. It can be used for things that are super scary, super scary. Even the bots that we built today can be used for like very harmful purposes, even though it's like all fluffy and nice and liking posts. I love it. Yeah. Everything can be used for evil too. Okay, Zane, I don't really watch other creators. Sorry. Sometimes I do, most cases I don't. I don't want to get too conscious about how they film their videos and how I film mine, so I kind of avoid it to begin with. It's too stressful. It's very, very stressful. There's always going to be somebody who does it better than you, who does it, in a better way and stuff. So you always keep comparing it to yourself, and yeah, it's never a good it's never a good thing to have in your mind. Okay, please try the error Selenium. You are using an automated software. Wow, I've never received this error before. Wow. By the way, I change account because I get timed out for no reason. Wow, that's interesting. I've never seen this error. I'm gonna try logging into Gmail. I'm gonna use Selenium. We'll see if I can bypass it, because that's a real challenge, you guys. That's interesting. I need to have already account created, or I need to create it, the code. I mean, this Twitter bot, because you used some credentials. I'm worried that if I will first create a Twitter account on web. So you usually have your personal account, which is not something we ever use for scraping. And then you have your bot's account, right? So from your bot account, you can then do all the scraping you like, because it is not supposed to be associated with your private account. So in Twitter, very often it asks you for your phone number. My bot doesn't have a phone number. I created it without it. So my authentication is an email address, as you've seen. Oh, I'm going to hate the word authentication after this stream. Really, really hate it. Okay, let's see. Ali, other than your channel, which other channel do you like for learning Python? I've seen some really cool channels when I first started, and they're still, active, and they're doing some really good stuff. So one of them is Clarity Coders. He's a really, really nice guy. We used to moderate on Facebook together. Another one is Programming with Rune, which is another really cool channel. Rune has been doing like some incredible stuff. I think he was doing it for longer than myself and Clarity Coders. But yeah, Clarity Coders and we started at the same time. I can't remember his name. But yeah, we used to chat, we used to talk when I had a Facebook. Now I don't. Okay, which is your favorite framework? Mine, Angular. Like framework in general, I'll go for PyTorch time and again. Because the framework, there's so many different frameworks. Yeah, I like machine learning frameworks. I never used Angular. I never tried it. Which channel will you suggest to learn Python? Yeah, so we talked about that. Any recommendations? Module for GUI other than Tkinter? Yes, there's plenty. I have an entire playlist of GUIs. Actually, Tkinter is not my favorite at all. At all. I really like Kiwi. I like Kiwi MD, but again, it's a matter of preferences. Whenever you use, classes, whenever you don't just work on a global level, I think that Kiwi and Kiwi MD are very, very easy to understand. Also, check out PyQt5. Watch out with their commercial license, because I think you need special permissions to use that, but it's also an option. DearPyGUI, I also tried it. Yeah, there's all kinds of different applications. I also tried Juice, which is a C++ one. And one of the ideas I wanted to compare a C++ application, with Juice to a Tkinter application, or something along these lines. I kind of put this project on hold. Okay, I got to go. I hope you can clip or make a video about coding that Twitter bot with Python. Yes, I will. I'm going to refilm. Everything you've seen in this tutorial was way too messy. I'm going to film a proper tutorial on this. Okay, sorry, guys. Okay, let's see. What is your dream job? Where do you see yourself in like 5 years? Well, my dream job is to travel the world. Is instead of, streaming this live for you guys, is actually meeting you in all kinds of places, in academies, in schools, and, doing fun projects. It's something that I would really, really like to do. That would be my favorite thing to do. I was dreaming earlier of working in Tesla, working on their autonomous driver, their autopilot. in terms of their AI, maybe improving their databases. I don't know, helping in whichever way I can. But I don't know, it kind of changed with this channel. Now I really enjoy talking to people. I enjoy communicating and helping. There's something very fulfilling about seeing comments of like, oh my God, it helped me so much. I'm so happy. And I think that's something I would like to have in my job in the future for sure. In 5 years, absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Oh, something's wrong. Okay, maybe there's something's wrong. I don't know. Okay, authentication is the hardest part of anything programmed for the web. That's right. That's why a lot of people are using just ready authentication by Google and like all these type of services. Not everybody likes it, but it is what it is. Sometimes when you don't have not like authentication, you're being attacked. Yeah, Python is a very good programming languages. Agree, 100% agree. Gmail Selenium. So I don't know if the only way for me to make a video about it is if I can actually bypass this blocker. If I cannot bypass this blocker, and if it's something I didn't try, I cannot guarantee it's going to work. Okay, but I'm going to try. I'm going to see if I can bypass it. At first, I thought that Twitter is not something I can bypass, but it was a brain fart. It was just a blonde moment. I looked at the wrong div. Okay, something is going wrong. Someone else's comments are appearing with my name on your screen. I know. Sorry, guys. I don't know. I know it's the second time I'm using this StreamYard setup. Not sure what's going on. What do you think about GTK? What's GTK? Very often I get all kinds of shortcuts that I'm not familiar with. Okay, so GTK is a free and open source cross-platform widget toolkit. I never tried it. Never tried it. I think I never tried it. Okay. I'm trying to work with SQL and Python now for the first time. Do you have any tips for me? Start with SQLite 3 and then continue. That's my tip, because I think SQLite 3 is very, very integrated with Python. It works really, really nice. I was able to use it with Kinter. I was able to use it with Flask, and it's just very convenient. That's my suggestion. If you need any help, Matan, actually I have a bunch of videos on SQLite 3. I'm gonna have some MySQL videos as well soon. But yeah, SQLite 3 is just very simple because you can just create a Python file. We don't need to run it on a special server. We just need to run this file and that's it. We have a database. Okay, welcome to Colombia. Python Simplified. Colombia, British Columbia. I've always been in Colombia, but the British one. Okay, have you applied to Tesla? I applied to be their customer service something in their Vancouver branch, right in the beginning of this. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this word on YouTube. Pandemic. I twisted it. So in the very beginning, I was applying to all kinds of customer service jobs and things of that sort because I couldn't find a job. Nobody wanted to hire me. Everybody, like everything was shut down. All the industries was shut down. And I was, looking for a job back then, regardless of how everything shut down was. So yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for your greetings. Yeah, probably. You see, that's this comment, and there's Ali's comment. No, it's not the same comment. Okay, so I thought it's just the same comment being copied again. Okay, .NET framework is old. Okay, what else? Hi, I get very confused with strings plus loops plus lists. What do you recommend me to do? I have a test in a few days too. Strings with loops with lists. It's a good question because all these are not exactly related. Just go over some strings methods. Make sure you understand everything. Break it down step by step. In terms of lists, I don't really have a tutorial on it yet, but I do have a tutorial on a for loop. This might help you. Let me see if I can pull it out from here. Okay, so yeah, you can check out my for loop tutorial. It exists. It breaks down for loops really, really nicely. Now, in terms of strings, I've briefly explained it in a very early tutorial of mine. I think Jay is now watching all these. Okay, so these where I don't even appear in the thumbnail, right? So these are my first ever videos that I filmed. I apologize in advance. heavy, thick Russian accent in all of them. So yeah, check out those videos. You might actually find some interesting facts about strings here. I haven't seen those videos in a while, so I'm kind of shooting in the dark. So yeah, yep. Okay, what else? Good luck. We'll pray for you on board with Tesla. It was over 2 years ago. I didn't get the job, and I probably don't want to do that anymore. Okay, you said you went to travel around the world, then welcome to Colombia. Okay, I see. Okay, Jay, for sure. I'll come see you in Colombia. Actually, I have friends who have parents there and stuff, so it's really, really cool. Okay, can you do a video about automating Telegram using Telethon? Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to eventually. Telegram bots is something I've seen people asking me to do, for sure. Did you stop basics tutorial on your channel? Yes, I put it on hold for a bit. I should go back. I should keep filming them. I was taking some time with focusing on NumPy and GUIs. I usually go by what I see most requests for. In terms of beginners tutorials, I don't see a lot of requests. See a few, but not when you compare it to the other requests, it doesn't compare very well. Thank you very much. I will search for some videos on your channel, this subject. Awesome. Yeah, take a look. My channel, other channels, if you need some help, check out Programming with Rune, check out Clarity Coders. They also have some really nice Python content, really good people. Anyway, you can do a vehicle recognition in real time with database. It can be helpful. Again, vehicle recognition. It's something it's a bombastic thing to do. There's a lot of things involved, and since I'm simplifying everything on the channel, it will be a very long video. Okay, so things of that sort I take into consideration for sure. I want to thank you for your tutorials. They helped me a lot. Thank you so much. Thank you for the comment. Okay. Badger is just offending people. So much like Badger. Okay, depends what kind of lists. Linked lists. Yeah, if it's an algorithm thing and not a Python thing, for sure. Linked lists is very confusing even for myself, if that was your question from earlier with the lists and stuff. Do you have any videos on writing more Pythonic code? It's very expressive. Well, no. I don't like lecturing people on how to code. I like to show you this is how I do things. If you enjoy it, do it as well, right? I'm not. I don't like kind of pushing myself onto others. Saludos desde Uruguay. Oh, hello from Vancouver. Hello, Bank. Hello, Beck. Hello, Bank. Okay. We've been streaming for too long. My brain gets fried. Okay, your options: Kintervis, Kiwi with PyQt5. I'd go for Kiwi. It's my favorite. But again, it's my favorite. It doesn't mean that it's gonna be your favorite or anybody else's. It's just something that is very convenient for me. I like the styling, and I actually prefer Kiwi MD because it has better styling. With Kiwi, I struggled, with rounding the corners of buttons and things of that sort, while Kiwi MD already has it ready for you. Okay. What is your suggestion to me? I want to create an educational website using Django. Yeah, start with a basic. Start with a single tutorial on this website and keep building it up. Think of a plan, have a wireframe ready for you, and plan in advance and then build it. Okay, the last few questions, you guys. We're gonna end this stream very, very soon. Sorry. At least it will be very helpful for me for beginner getting into college. See, GTK is a GUI designer tool like Tkinter. It works with Python, PyGTK for Python. Most built-in Linux apps are made with GTK. Interesting. No maps. Nice. GTK is free, advanced, but hard to use. See, that's why I don't know about it. I'm very lazy when it comes to programming. I do not like to work hard if I can work not hard. Like, I wouldn't call it lazy. I like when things are simple. So if I go slow, like I do this Py game on a game that has a video and all the code, but I try learning it, like memorizing the code. I don't think you're supposed to ever memorize the code. No, with time, it will come more intuitively to you, but don't memorize it. I did memorize the code of this tutorial, of the one I was supposed to show you today, but surprise, surprise, it didn't work. Memorizing didn't help. But yeah, I never memorize code. It's just things that It's things that come intuitive after a while, things you've used very often. So it's hard to forget, especially if you're self-learning. It's very difficult to forget. Okay. People stop commenting. She has to go. Yeah, yeah. I don't know if I have to go, but I feel like it's a good time to end this stream. Okay. Do you live stream often? So I'm not gonna stream for next bit because I'll be focusing on tutorials. Okay. And now I have another tutorial added to my list of this Twitter bot. I was expecting the stream to be successful. But yeah, I'll be streaming the next time next month. Okay, not this month. Okay. So please make a course about fast API. I'll check it out if I see a bunch of comments. If I see a bunch of other requests, for sure. I will remove messages that are repeating. Badger now has moderating powers on YouTube. Watch out. Don't mess with the Badger. Okay, happy tomorrow birthday, teacher. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hi from Mexico. Hi from Vancouver. Yep, memorizing no concepts, bookmark a good book. I don't study with books. I know a lot of people are finding it very, very helpful. My uncle studied all his programming journey with books. He's a senior developer. But back in the day, it was much more convenient. Right now, I don't know. I kind of like using documentations. I always go by the documentation when I'm thinking of videos. Have you tried Tweepy module for Twitter bot? No. Tweepy. No, but I'm sure it's pretty good. Yeah, I like the old school Selenium way. I'm very comfortable with Selenium. It's one of my favorites. Great content, Maria. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much. I wish it was better. I really do. Thank you, guys. Okay, thank you, Em, for the stream, and I hope you celebrate as you deserve. Happy birthday. Yeah, it's going to be a really nice celebration, you guys. If I'm cooking, it's going to be a very nice celebration. Okay. Hey, from Morocco, please, what's the fastest way to get into AI? Thank you. Again, we talked about it a bit earlier with Aiden. So basically, look for some kind of a course. Look for something online. I'll show you where I studied. That was Udacity, okay, AI programming with Python. So I took this nano degree that cost me $600, and I'm still sorry that I took it. Okay, but those courses, once in a while, they go on sales, and I've seen it free. I've seen a deep learning course on Udacity, okay, completely for free, which was very, very interesting. So if you can find an introductory course on AI, take it. If there's something you don't understand, go into my channel. I have a really nice playlist full of artificial intelligence and machine learning videos. One of them is this one. Okay, this is how to work with machine learning databases, and I have a bunch of others. I have everything starting from the perceptron. Hold on, I'm looking for it. Okay, it's not here. Apparently I have more than just 2 pages. Wow, incredible. I have an introduction to artificial intelligence. It's this guy over here. This is talking about different approaches to machine learning. This is the perceptron, which is the most basic unit of logic in a neural network. Okay, this is a very basic tutorial, which will get you up to speed. This is cross entropy. It's a bit more complicated. It's going into analytics, kinds of interesting formulas. Okay, and then gradient descent is also a very important algorithm in terms of neural networks. Yeah, you can see there's all kinds of different artificial intelligence tutorials here. You can find them on my channel all the time. And you know what? I think this is probably my most favorite, like one of my top 3 favorite tutorials on the channel is this neural network tutorial. It's very informative. It will take all this topic of neural networks and it will kind of simplify it for you. Hopefully that's what it's meant to do. Cool. Happy birthday. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Maria, hungry. Would you cook? What are you cooking? So two things. Okay, first of all, I want to make meatballs in tomato sauce. It's my specialty. And second of all, I want to make a pie. I haven't decided if it's a chicken pot pie or something else, but yeah, these are my plans. Good luck. Happy birthday. Best wishes from Pakistan. Thank you so much, Ali. Thank you so much. Come to teach me. One day. What kind of a mic is that? That's the HyperX RGB microphone. Really, really nice. The stand is a blue stand. It has nothing to do with the microphone itself. What is it just to study first? Framework for ML, DL, like TensorFlow and SciPy. Yeah, or maths and theory. I think you should learn maths and theory first, because all these commands you learn with TensorFlow, you're not going to understand their meaning. So I think the thing about AI is that you're not, you don't have to have a computer to do it. It's just much more efficient with a computer, but realistically, you should be able to create a neural network with, a pen and paper. So my approach is first understand how to make it with a pen and paper, and then apply it with code. I tried the other way around. I did try with Udacity. I couldn't understand it, so that's why I had to break things down for myself. That's why I had to simplify them. And that's how you got all these artificial intelligence videos. So everything you see on my channel in terms of artificial intelligence, it's things that I couldn't understand. In order to understand them, I filmed this video, and now I fully grasped it. So yeah, math first. Absolutely. That's my approach. But again, different people have different priorities. I don't know if I'm authority when it comes to recommending artificial intelligence stuff. I just know that I feel confident about understanding it at this point of time. But my studying process was all over the place. So maybe I'm not the best person to ask. Okay. I worked with Selenium in the past. You need to knowledge of XPath. Yeah, XPath is very interesting. Okay. Thank you. I was thinking you were a Python developer. Well, thank you so much. I will see your video. Yeah. Thank you guys for all the birthday wishes. Thank you. Thank you so much. Awesome. Thank you. I'm happy to help. Russia is winning. Oh, wow. Yeah, let's not go in there. Told you guys, let's not talk about politics on this channel. There are plenty of channels to talk about it. Plus, when you talk about it from from your angle is a bit different than from mine, because my family is in the middle of all this, right? We have pro-Russians and pro-Ukrainians in the family, and it's clenching time, right? So just so you guys know. Pascal's triangle neural network. Oh, guys, stop commenting. Even I have to go now. Okay. Okay, exactly. No one is winner in war. I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I've been through wars when I was a kid. Well, Lebanon War too, I believe, and there was a bunch other tough ones. It's the most horrible thing you can ever imagine yourself, and I don't want anybody imagining it ever. Wars are always bad. If you cheer for a certain side, good for you, but it needs to stop. Everything, there's no point in killing each other. We're in 2022, for God's sakes. We should have all the means to feed all the hungry and to provide everything that people need, but we just choose to focus on conflicts and things that are not getting us anywhere. So, okay. This is like trying to leave a family gathering. Exactly. Exactly. You can't. You're at the door. Absolutely. I agree, Badger. That's exactly like that. You want to come to the US? I do, but yeah, I think I can do this now. I can just cross the border. But if I'm coming to the US, I'm not coming back. No way. I live right on the border. Do you deal with having a sit at the computer for a long time to code? Do you exercise or run? I used to exercise and run. Right now, my exercise is cleaning and cooking and housewife related stuff. But the thing about computers is, I think that the best part is just having a few computers. You sit on one, your back gets tired, you move to another, your back gets tired, you move to the other one. But yeah, it's very addicting, to sit in front of the computer and to code, for sure. Whenever I'm working on school projects, holy smokes, guys, I can sit for 3 hours and not even notice. Okay, you guys. Happy early birthday. I wish you all the best. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for your presence. Again, my apologies on not getting the stream right. Okay, but I hope that at least you followed a bit of it and you found a benefit watching this. So yeah, thank you guys so much. I'll see you soon. Next time we'll have proper videos, not a live stream. Okay. Bye-bye.